Welcome to This Day in Baseball. We bring you everything from the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat and every milestone and oddball event in between. Today's game is courtesy of thisdayinbaseball.com. You can come for a peek, make friends for a lifetime. Before, after, and during the game, check out the links below the video and visit the player pages, parks, and teams as you listen to this blast from the past. You can catch us on every social media platform, and I want to do a special thanks to MLB Classic Radio Archives for this broadcast. Now, let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Al Helfer with Art Gleason bringing you Mutual's Game of the Day from sunny Shibe Park in the city of Philadelphia. And it is sunny Shibe Park here this afternoon, everybody, with the wind blowing directly in from behind left center field, blowing diagonally across the diamond and going out from behind first base. Right this very minute, the crowd has come in here to Shibe Park in anticipation of baseball being played between the Cleveland Indians and the homestanding Philadelphia Athletics under Jimmy Dykes. And it is, as you know now, under Jimmy Dykes, because Connie Mack has now appointed Jimmy Dykes his first lieutenant. And Jimmy Dykes has been given practically the running of the Philadelphia Athletics for the rest of the season. So Jimmy Dykes will lead his Philadelphia Athletics out here to entertain Lou Boudreau's Cleveland Indians. And we're expecting quite an affair here this afternoon. The crowd is sitting in quiet anticipation as the groundkeepers right this minute are wetting down the infield preparatory to getting this game underway. The bright, brilliant skies here this afternoon in Philadelphia, with just a few of those white, fleecy clouds interdispersed up in that blue, and we're just about ready to get this game underway. Art Gleason is sitting by here with the starting lineups. So let's turn old Pop loose and see what he has to say. How about you, Arturo? How do you feel today, kid?
Good, Al, and good afternoon, everyone. Here is the way that the Cleveland Indians will come up to the plate. In batting order, it's Bob Kennedy in right field, Alec Clark, left field, Luke Easter, first base, Larry Doby, center field, Al Rosen, third base, Lou Boudreau, manager and shortstop, Bobby Avila, second base, Jim Hegan, catcher, and the pitcher, as Al told you, will be Bob Lemon. And for the Philadelphia Athletics, Bob Dillinger will lead off, playing at third base. Wally Moses, right field. Paul Lehner, left field. Sam Chapman, center field. Ferris Fain, first base. Eddie Juiced, shortstop. Bill Hitchcock, second base. Joe Astroth, catcher. And the pitcher for the Philadelphia Athletics will be Bobby Shantz. We'll give you the batteries again for the Cleveland Indians, the visiting team here at Shibe Park. Bob Lemon, with a record of 6 victories and 3 losses, will take the mound. Jim Hegan will do the catching. And for the Philadelphia Athletics, Bobby Shantz, with a record of 5 victories against 4 losses, will do the pitching, and Joe Astroth will be behind the plate. Lemon, so far, in his 6 victories, has 2 shutouts, while Bobby Shantz, in his 5 victories, has 1 shutout. The umpire for this afternoon's game at the plate is Art Passarella. On first base is Charlie Berry. Hank Soar will call the plays at second base, and over at third base will be Jim Boyer. So the Cleveland Indians coming up to bat now, the conference between manager Lou Boudreau of the Cleveland Indians, Jimmy Dykes of the Philadelphia Athletics, and the 4 umpires has broken up. The umpires going out to their positions. The Philadelphia Athletics take their positions, and here's the way they go. It's Paul Lehner in left, Sam Chapman in center, Wally Moses over in right field, Bob Dillinger at third, Eddie Juiced at short, Bill Hitchcock at second base, Ferris Fain at first, Bobby Shantz warming up with Joe Astroth. The first batter up for the Cleveland Indians will be Bob Kennedy. He'll be followed by Alec Clark and Luke Easter. And the coaches for the Cleveland Indians, Oscar Malillo at first base, Al Simmons at third. And so in just a moment now, behind the plate, Art Passarella will call play ball, and this game will get underway. So, Al, will you take over here now and give the folks the batting averages of Kennedy, Clark, and Easter?
Well, I'll be happy to, Art. I'm ready to go, and so are they down on the field. Bob Kennedy, the right fielder, will be up there hitting at .316. Alec Clark in left field this afternoon for Cleveland in place of Dale Mitchell, as you've already told the folks, hitting at .182. Down on the mound, the little left-hander, Bobby Shantz. They call him Old Shanty. Fellow from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. He's a little guy, stands only 5 feet 7, weighs about 150 pounds with his spikes on and completely soaking wet. Dale Mitchell standing at the plate, or rather Bob Kennedy standing at the plate, and we're waiting for the first pitch to him. The plate umpire, Art Passarella, has called for that ball. He wants to see it once more. Shantz throws it down, and Passarella looks it over. Charlie Berry, down behind first base, is getting all set and has something to say to the Cleveland Indian bullpen crew as they go by him out into the right field bullpen. Now with the outfield fanning around toward left as Bob Kennedy comes up there. Shantz puts his foot up on the rubber, takes his first sign from Joe Astroth, kicks, throws the first pitch, and it's a fast one high for ball one. So this ball game between the Cleveland Indians and the Philadelphia Athletics has gotten underway. The left side of the Philadelphia infield playing deep. Kennedy hitting right-handed, holds that bat up high on his shoulder, takes a pitch outside from little Bobby Shantz, and the count is 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0. Kennedy's a pretty good-sized guy. He can hit that ball a fair piece for you. From Illinois boy. Leans over the plate, pumps that bat nervously, now places it up on his shoulder. There's Shantz, left-handing this next one in there. The fast one in there for a strike, and the count is 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kennedy waits very patiently. Down comes the pitch. The fast one swung on, foul tip for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bobby Shantz, one of the winningest pitchers the Philadelphia Athletics have on the roster at this particular time. As I've told you, has won 5, lost 4, and has pitched 1 shutout. He's going against the old reject third baseman this afternoon, Bob Lemon, who's won 6, lost 3, and shut out 2. There's a ball hit back to second base. And up with it is second baseman Billy Hitchcock. Very easily flips it over to Ferris Fain at first base. Kennedy is out. 1 up, 1 away here in the top half of inning number 1. That brings up Alec Clark hitting at 182. Clark playing in left field this afternoon for the Cleveland Indians. Alec Clark, South Amboy, New Jersey boy. With South Amboy, where they had that great big explosion here a couple of weeks back. And he'd like to have an explosion himself right now. He'd like to get a hold of one. Alec Clark has hit a home run so far this year. In fact, he has 2 of them. Takes the first pitch. Outside for ball 1. Shantz comes back to the next one. The fastball hit out into right field. There's a long hit ball going toward the scoreboard. Wally Moses backs up right under the scoreboard. Makes the catch. Wally Moses beating around out there in right field like a young gazelle. You wouldn't think he was rapping on the back door of 40, would you? Bart, he really gets around, you know it?
Al, the ball players will say that Wally Moses and Eddie Stewart down in Washington, they say that they'll be able to run in the 65 season.
Boy, that I wouldn't doubt it. Coming up to the plate, batting at 262, is great big Luke Easter, one of the muscle men of baseball. He hits at him left-handed. Takes the first pitch under his knees for ball 1. There are 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning in this game between Cleveland and Philadelphia. Bobby Shantz working this afternoon for Carney Max A's. Kicks, throws a hook that is low and on the outside. The count on Big Easter is 2 balls, no strikes. This Easter's no little guy. His name is Lucius. And with San Diego and Cleveland last year, he was up for 21 ball games for Cleveland. St. Louis, Missouri boy. Hit 222 for Cleveland and 363 on the coast. Takes a fast pitch just off the waist on the inside. That's ball 3. Even standing out there on the mound, Bobby Shantz looked very small compared to Big Luke Easter's plate. Easter weighs in the neighborhood of 235, 240 pounds. Curveball just off his hips on the inside for ball 4. Shantz poured him a fast one. So that's the first base runner we've had here this afternoon. 2 outs, 1 on as Easter walks. Shantz gives up his first base on balls. And here is Larry Doby, who is the number 4 hitter in the American League, batting at 364. He's hammered in 30 runs for the ball club, the Cleveland Indians, and he's stolen 5 bases. But he's been pretty valuable this year. He covers a lot of center field. He can really run. Larry Doby bats left-handed, stands just off the plate. Holds that bat high on his left shoulder, takes a curveball low and outside for ball 1. Coming over on the swing this morning to Philadelphia. I looked up in the forward car, and I thought to myself that must be Larry Doby sitting up there. But when we got off at the station, Larry looked at me and said, "How you doing, Al?" And I said, "Fine." So we grabbed the cab and came over to the ballpark together, and we got to talking about pitchers. He swings on this next one, and there's a fast curve fired back onto the screen for strike 1. Count is 1-1 on Larry Doby. And it was quite surprising to me, in a way, and in another way not so surprising, when Larry Doby said that Ned Garver, the St. Louis Browns, was the pitcher that gave him the most trouble. Shantz throws. There's a ball hit back to shortstop. Up with his juice, he plays it back to second base for the force out. Easter was the fellow caught in the force out at second base. And if you're scoring with us this afternoon, that'll be 6-4. So Rack Doby up as force out. Billy Hitchcock handling on the put out. So there are no runs for the Cleveland Indians here in the top half of the first inning. There were no hits. They had one man left on. At the end of the top half of the first inning, the Cleveland Indians nothing, and the Philadelphia Athletics nothing. Now we're ready for the last half of inning number one. And first man coming up for Philadelphia to face Bob Lemon will be Bob Dillinger, the third baseman of Philadelphia. And Bob's batting at .301. Respectable right-handed batter. Now, Bob Lemon out on the mound for the Cleveland Indians with his record of 6 wins and 3 losses and 2 shutouts. Get ready to make the first pass. Bob Lemon, who was born in San Bernardino, California, and now makes his home all the way in Long Beach. You heard him talk about Long Beach a lot, too. When he and Gleason get together, boy, I'll tell you, California really catches him. One way or another.
Yeah, I'll bet you this there old Pop Lemon's listening in up there right now.
Oh, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Well, Pop Lemon can really be proud of his boy, Bobby. Guy can really pitch himself a lot of baseball. The right-hander's ready to throw now to Bob Dillinger. Bob's up for his first at-bat on the afternoon. Stands very deep at the plate, feet wide, spread apart. First pitch is made by Lemon inside and tight. That's ball one, right in off the hand. We'll set the Cleveland Indians for you defensively now with Lemon on the mound, and behind the plate is Jimmy Hegan. At first base, Big Luke Easter. At second base, Bob Avila, A-V-I-L-A, Bob Avila. There's a pitch to the plate, taken outside for ball two. At shortstop is manager Lou Boudreau for Cleveland. The third baseman is Rosen. Out in left field is Alec Clark. There's a pitch to the plate, right through there for a called strike, and Dillinger knew it. The center fielder is Larry Doby for Cleveland, and in right field we have Bob Kennedy. We'll give the umpires to you in a second. We can tell you that it's Art Passarella behind the plate. He's looking down over shoulder to get a good look at this pitch. There's the ball hit down to third. Flip Rosen up with it. Fires it into Easter at first base. And that's all for Dillinger, despite the fact that he was going down there in a big hurry. So Dillinger goes out third to first. 5-3. That brings up Wally Moses. The right fielder, veteran, hitting at .288. Moses standing in, bats left-handed. Now, Moses is a guy that keeps his stance almost wide open. He drags that right foot down toward first base and almost faces the pitcher. Cradles that bat in his left arm. Takes a look at the first pitch. It's low for ball one as Lemon goes to work on him. We're in the last half of the first inning. One out, nobody on. No score in this game between Cleveland and Philadelphia. The curveball was swung on by Wally Moses and beaten down into the ground foul to the left of the plate for a strike. 1-1. Now Lemon sets. Looks down, takes his sign. Jim Hegan holds him up as a target. Wally Moses pumps that bat up and down. Not back and forth, but up and down. Swings on his next pitch, pitches right off the end of the bat, foul down the third baseline. Wally Moses, when he handles that bat at the plate, acts as though it weighed about 5 times as much as it does, until he decides he's really going to take a cut at that apple, and then it looks kind of light in his hands. So when he pumps that bat, it's not back and forth as most batsmen do. He sort of drops it down and then picks it up. Count on him is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lemon delivers a fastball low for ball 2. So the count is 2-2 now on Wally Moses. We have 1 out here in the last half of the first inning. Nobody on for Philadelphia. And the score is 0-0, as Cleveland failed to score in the top half of the first inning. We got a man walked all right. That was Luke Easter. Got him on first base, but Doby forced him at second. From short to second. Down comes the next pitch. It's low, under the knees again. And Wally Moses now has a first count of 3-2. On the inner defense, we have 2 stand-in second basemen this afternoon. Pete Suter is not playing for Philadelphia. And taking his place is Billy Hitchcock from Opelika, Alabama. And Bob Avila is standing in for Gordon on the inner defense for Cleveland. 3-2, low and outside for ball 4. Wally Moses draws a base on balls. That's the second free ticket handed out this afternoon. Lemon has given 1, and Shantz has given 1 for Philadelphia. That Shantz is about the littlest thing outside of Lombardi. That is Vic Lombardi over with the Pittsburgh Pirates. About the littlest pitcher I've seen in a long time. Both of them left-handers.
Got another little one here today, too. Little Marino Peretti.
Yeah, he's not very big either. Glad you checked me on that. Lemon now is throwing to another left-hander. This is Paul Lehner. Lehner. Paul Lehner for Philadelphia, playing in left field. Now, I realize that we can't call this guy Little Poison because there was a guy by the name of Lloyd Wainer that was called Little Poison. But I think we'd better nominate him, Art, for the title of Little Cyanide. That's just about as close to it as we get because he is really poison. He's batting at .331. He gets that base hit when it hurts you. First pitch to him is a fast one that's wrapped down the first base line. Luke Easter picks up, plays it over to the pitcher covering, Bob Lemon, and the out has been effected. But just as the out was effected, the first base umpire, Charlie Berry, said, take it all back, boys, because that's just a little bit foul. That kicked foul on him, so it's just going to go as a strike. So the count is one strike on Paul Lehner. He's standing up at the plate now, waiting for the next pitch to be fired in by Lemon. Then Shibe's outside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wally Moses doesn't take a big lead down there at first base, but he's ready to run on anything. These veterans really conserve their energy, you know it. Now he takes his lead. Easter on the inside corner. Lemon checks him over his shoulder, throws to the plate. It's swung on a miss for a strike. And Lehner was after it. I might say, but good. The Sliners spotted that ball pretty good for Philadelphia this year. With a batting percentage of .331. But that isn't the whole story. He's hit 4 home runs. 57 base hits he's had and 172 times up. 4 home runs, a triple, and 9 doubles. Swings on this next pitch, and there's a bounding ball down the first base line, and it kicks foul again. Wally Moses has gone down to second twice now. The veteran has to lug those feet all the way back first. And Lehner comes chomping back to home plate. He's going to pick up that war cut and go again. His count is 1-2. We're in the last half of the first inning, 1 away for Philadelphia. They have 1 on. There is no score here in this ball game between Cleveland and Philadelphia. And Cleveland figures to be very much in the American League race yet this year. They haven't given up by a long shot. This guy Boudreau wouldn't let him give up. This guy sitting up in that front office feels the same way about it, too. He was quite a competitor when he played ball. Talking about Hank Greenberg. There's Lemon leaning down on his left knee. Ball behind his back. Now he's ready, comes out, checks his runner, throws to the plate. A fastball, over but low. So the count is 2-2 now on Paul Lehner, the left fielder of Philadelphia. Sam Chapman's up there to go next. Old California fullback. He'll be up there doing a little swinging. Barrett Spain will follow him in case he's needed. Now Lemon delivers. Fastball swung on a miss for a strike, and that's the third one. So that's all for Paul Lehner, Lehner. Lemon hangs up a strikeout. That's the first one we've had here this afternoon. Here is Sam Chapman batting at .242. His batting percentage has suffered considerably. But his home run productivity, as far as Philadelphia is concerned, hangs up there at 6. Lemon's ready. Throws to a right-handed batsman who stands very deep at the plate. It's a crossfire that misses outside for ball 1. So we have 2 outs here in the last half of the first inning. With Wally Moses, who was walked, still on at first base. Lemon peers down to take Jim Hegan's sign. There's the mid as a target. Passarella leans over Hegan's left shoulder to get a good look at this pitch. Down it comes. A fastball that's in there for a strike. Well, that one was popped right through there, and Sam Chapman knew it was popped through. Chapman steps up just a little bit tighter toward the plate. Apparently, Bob Lemon's pitching him a little bit on the outside. So Chapman wants to be in there where he can step into the pitch. Moses leads off at first. Lemon throws a fastball that misses just outside. And sure enough, that's what Lemon's doing. He's feeding him outside pitches. Trying to keep it away from Chapman to keep his power from going into left field. It's not too far to the left field bleachers down here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. Only 334 feet right into the bleachers down the left field line. And it doesn't fall away very much. Down comes the pitch. It's swung on. Hitting on his arm. There goes Moses to second. There's a base hit into left field. And Moses, digging around, has moved into third, and there he holds up. So with the hit and run going, Chapman delivered. Smacked one into left center field, putting Wally Moses on at third base. And off Lemon, that's hit number 1. And that, Joan, is hit number 1 in this game this afternoon. So Lemon's got his work cut out for him now as Ferris Fain, hitting at 299, comes wandering up to the plate. And Luke Boudreau turns around and looks out at his left fielder, Allie Clark, and motions him to come on up and play a little closer in left center. As this left-handed batsman, who can tag that apple also, does most of his hitting to right and right center field. Now the runners taking their leads at first and third. Down comes the pitch. Fain backs up from a tight curve in off the waist for ball one. So we've got a little business cooking here in the last half of the first inning. Fain has hammered in 30 runs so far for the Philadelphia Athletics, and he has his chance of picking up another RBI at least. Wally Moses leads off third. Lemon looks over there, checks him, and looks back over his shoulder, checks the runner at first, throws to the plate, low outside. So we've got a 2-2 count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, or rather, 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Last half of the first inning. The runner at first base, Sam Chapman, delivered with a hit and run on, and Wally Moses moved around to third, and that's where he is. Now Lemon checks, looks down at Hegan, fires away at the plate. The pitch under the knees of Ferris Fain for ball 3. Well, Lemon's going to be pretty careful about throwing to Ferris Fain because that wind is blowing in very stiffly from behind left center field. It's going to help a fly ball hit into right field. And it's only 331 feet down the right field line, and the home run can be hit up against those boards. Down comes the delivery. A fast one misses outside for ball 4, and that loads him up. That pushes Chapman down to second, puts Fain on at first. That's the second base on balls given up by Lemon. And here comes Eddie Juice batting at 250. Juice batting at 250 has 16 runs batted in so far this year for the A's. Eddie hits him right-handed, stands deep at the plate, sort of hugs up tight from behind. He's turned out to be quite a shortstop. Charlie Mack's boys down here. Eddie Juice standing in. Lemon gets ready, makes the first pitch. Juice takes it. It's in there for strike. Eddie Juice, who does his wintering around Burning Game, California, born in San Francisco. 175 pounds, stands about 6 feet, I guess. Wears number 1 on the back of his uniform shirt. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Down comes the pitch. Juice takes, fast and low. The count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eddie Juice, this year, in getting his 40 base hits, has had 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 7 home runs. So he can get after that pretty well, too. Lemon throws. Juice swings in a high curve and doesn't get it. That's 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lemon monkeying around on the mound, taking his time. He very definitely has his work all carved and etched out for him. And he'd rather not see it be a permanent thing. Juice like to make it permanent, stands at the plate. Here's the 1 and 2 pitch to him. Juice takes. In there for call, strike 3. And there's no argument from Juice. So Lemon gets the big one on a strikeout. For the Philadelphia Athletics in the last half of the first inning, a great big threat as they stranded 3 men on the sacks. There was only 1 hit, no runs. So at the end of the first inning of play between Cleveland and Philadelphia, the score is Cleveland nothing and Philadelphia nothing. Inning number 2 on Mutual's Game of the Day between Cleveland and Philadelphia, Shibe Park in Philadelphia. The first man up here for Cleveland in the top half of the second inning is a guy that Florida is awfully proud of, a fellow by the name of Flip Rosen. And now Rosen, from Spartansburg, South Carolina, who now winters in Kansas City, Missouri, has been adopted apparently by particularly the city of Miami, Florida, because of his great work with the kids down there in the off-season. Comes down and helps the youngsters learn how to play baseball. Well, one thing about Flip Rosen, he likes kids, and he wants to see all the boys get a chance to play baseball. He fought for his opportunity, and he's making good in the big show. Right-handed batsman takes a curve high and outside for ball 1. Flip Rosen's hitting only .274, but in the home run productivity, he is right high on the list. As far as Cleveland's concerned, he's the boy that's leading the show with 14. Takes a fast curve outside as Shantz goes again. The count is 2 balls and strikes. Rosen's pretty stocky. Sort of thick-chested, square shoulders. Stands deep at the plate and tied up against it. Holds the bat way down to the knob. Little Shantz throws. Rosen leans, doesn't offer. Takes outside for ball 3. Rosen backs away from the plate. And Shantz gets ready. Now Rosen steps in. Shantz throws right through there for a strike. 3-1. Shantz rears back, heaves another one in. It's low and on the inside for ball 4. So the first man up here in the top of the second inning, Flip Rosen, draws a walk. The second base on ball is given up by Shantz. The next batter is Lou Boudreau. He'll be up in a moment. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Now we go with Lou Boudreau. Flip Rosen on at first base. No outs, top of the second inning. Boudreau up there. He's batting at 254. Swings on the first pitch. There's a high bouncer down to the mound. Shantz takes it, fires it over to first base in time by Spike. And Rosen moves down to second on the play. That was one of those Baltimore chops hit down off the rubber of home plate. Shantz, the little fella, had to wait for it to come down. His quick throw just did beat Boudreau to the sack. There's Spain, the first baseman, backing up to take it. So we have one out here in the top of the second inning. Rosen is on at second base, and here is Bob Avila. He's taking the place of Gordon at second base this afternoon for the Cleveland Indians. Bob hasn't played a great deal this year. He's batting at 300. But what we have seen him do, it's been fine business. He was with Baltimore in the International League, 48. Swings on his first pitch. There's a slow bounding ball back to short. Juiced is after it, picks it up, snaps it over to Ferris Spain. In time, there are 2 outs. As Avila goes out 6-3, short to first, to move Rosen down to third on the play. But this boy Avila played with Baltimore in 48 in the International League, and he hit only 220. He was moved up to Cleveland in 49 as utility second baseman, and he played in 31 ball games and hit 214. He's a good glove man. The ball was born in Veracruz, Mexico. Here is Jim Hegan up there. Takes first pitch outside for ball 1. Jim Hegan batting at 237. Jimmy Hegan's been a bulwark on that Cleveland catching staff. Lynn, Massachusetts boy, hit 224 for Cleveland last year in 152 ball games. Big fellow, weighs about 200 pounds, stands a couple inches over 6 feet. Then Shantz, out of the mound, 5 feet 7, fires it fast and picks up the outside corner for a strike. Count is 1-1. There's no score in this game, but Cleveland's got its best-looking threat cooking right now with Rosen on the third and 2 away. Cleveland's got its best-looking threat cooking right now with Rosen on the third and cooking right now with Rosen on the third and 2 away. Shantz trying to keep the nothingness going in this ball game. Delivers a fastball. Hegan swings on it, misses for a strike. That's the second one. That was a high curve. Hegan likes those high curves. In the way of home runs, Hegan has hit only 2 this year. He hit 1 last month, and he's hit 1 this month. Shantz kicks, throws. The little softball has a curve in there that's hit out into left field. There's a blooper going into left center field. It's in for a base hit. And Rosen comes in to score, and it's a 1-0 ball game as Hegan loops one into left center field to get himself his 11th run batted in this year. And that off Shantz is only the first hit of the ball game, but he gives up the first run on it. A walk, a couple of infield outs, turned a trick for Cleveland here, and in the top of the second inning, they're out in front now. Philadelphia 1-0. And again is Bob Lemon, and they don't monkey with him. He's a good hitter for a pitcher. Takes a curveball in there for a strike. No wonder he's a good hitter. He had some time as a third baseman. Came up to the Cleveland Indians as a third baseman. And they kid him and laugh at him now and call him the reject third baseman. He's quite a pitcher. There's a fastball thrown to him, low for ball 1. 1-1. Bob Lemon is hitting at 263. That's a pretty lofty batting percentage. They use him as a pinch hitter quite often. I get a great kick out of Art calling him the reject. There's a curveball flipped in and over at the knees for a strike. We were going out to Cleveland Stadium one afternoon, the Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. We thought everyone had gone home. We'd stayed over. Did some chinning and jawing with Mr. Ryan and Hank Greenberg. Lo and behold, standing out there signing autographs was Bob Lemon, who right now swings and fouls it off into the screen for a strike. His count is 1-2. So we came walking through the door, and old Pops Gleason, he's just as sassy as a jaybird sitting on a log. He yelled out, "Hey, you doing there, reject?" And Lemon, without looking around, said, "Gleason's out here someplace." He's here. Bob Lemon down there now, hitting at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swings on this pitch, hits right back to the mound. Nice stop by Bobby Shantz. A fire over to first base, that's all for Lemon. That Shantz really stretched that time to take that line drive. There was a bounder right at his feet. Lemon is out, pitcher to first base, and that's all for Cleveland. However, they do pick up a run to go ahead here in the top of the second inning. 1 run on just 1 hit. There was 1 man left on. There were no errors. So at the end of 1.5 innings of play, the score stands Cleveland 1, and the Philadelphia Athletics nothing. Now for the last half of inning number 2. Down here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia, with Cleveland and the homestanding Philadelphia Athletics. First man up for the A's will be Billy Hitchcock. We said before, from Opelika, Alabama. He was born at Inverness, Alabama, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But you folks down around Alabama call it Inverness. Or how do you all pronounce it? I can remember an airport down the south called Opelika Airport. But I don't know, when you get onto some of these names, especially Indian names, etc., you have a little trouble with them. I know our good friend Art Gleason here has trouble with a valley and a river called Monongahela. How do you pronounce it again, Art?
Mongolia.
Mongolia, yeah.
I'm going to get together with Stan Musial someday. And
I'll bet you can't pronounce that. No. He's going to get together with Stan Musial, that kid. Billy Hitchcock up there, batting right-handed. Takes a fast curve up by the peak of the cap for ball 1. Billy Hitchcock has weighed in with one master this year for Philadelphia. He's hit one of them. He pounds the next pitch down to third base. Rosen picks it up on a skip, fires it over to Easter at first, and Billy Hitchcock is out. Third to first. High-bounding ball that Rosen handled very well. Here is Joe Astroth. He's catching the first time in the last 4 days. Joe Astroth of East Alton, Illinois. Now lives in Alton. With Philadelphia last year, hit .243. Right now, he's hitting .250. Right-handed batsman stands just off the plate, takes a curve in for strike. Bob Lemon seems to have settled down considerably over his first inning, in which he had a little bit of wildness jump up and bite him, but a couple of strikeouts by Bob Lemon sort of wiped that right off the books. Lemon throws. The right-hander has a curve in there that's partially swung on, but Astroth checks himself in time to take a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Joe Astroth. You spell his name Astroth. These fellows that we don't hear too much about or don't get to see too often, we like to spell the names for you, so the next time the guy's name is mentioned, you'll have a pretty good idea how to spell it. A curveball in at his knees this time, thrown by Lemon. A changeup for ball 2. 2-1. The outfield for Astroth is playing around the left and playing it pretty deep. He hasn't tagged one yet this year, but he can. He swings on this pitch, hits the ball to shortstop. Boudreau picks it up very easily. Lobs his throw over to first base to Easter, and the slow-moving Astroth is out. 1 away. Whoop. Check it back there, Helfer. What you doing? That's 2 away. All right, Gleason will. I gotta think this guy here once in a while. He's just about ready to climb on my neck. He's about to say, hey, old buddy, got 2 outs down there. Watch yourself. Can't you just hear him? Bobby Sands, batting right-handed. He throws him left, but swings at him right. Didn't swing at that one, though. Lemon had it in there for strike. 0-1 is the count on Bobby Shantz. He works the far up on the handle of the bat. You don't know whether he's holding it in the middle or not. Swings on this pitch. Misses it for strike. And when he swings on that ball down there, he's got to hold that bat far enough away from his body, because when he comes around on his swing, if he has a 2-day against his body, he's going to hit himself in the short ribs with the short end of the bat. Swings on this next pitch and misses for strike 3. The little fellow's out of there. That's the 3rd out here in the last half of the second inning, and for Bob Lemon, that's strikeout number 3. So he's moving right along. In the second inning, nothing across for the Philadelphia Athletics. And at the end of 2 full innings at Shibe Park in Philadelphia, the score is the Cleveland Indians 1, the Philadelphia A's nothing. The crowd here at Philadelphia, and it's a good one, quietly sits back and waits for the 3rd inning. Art Gleason steps forward and pours these words into this microphone.
Well, Al, before starting the 3rd, we'd like to thank the sponsors of Queen for a Day, Alka-Seltzer, and One-A-Day brand vitamins, and the sponsors of Lady Fair, Babson and Bactine, for delaying their broadcast in order that you might hear Mutual's Game of the Day uninterrupted. Queen for a Day and Ladies Fair will be heard over most of these stations immediately following this baseball broadcast. So here we are, the top of the 3rd inning. The top of the batting order stands in. It's Bob Kennedy. Bats him right-handed. Shantz ready to pitch. Throws, and there's a drive going out to right center field. It's dropping in there for a base hit. Chapman is moving back, playing the ball, and the play goes into second base. It's going to be close. He's in. And Bob Kennedy picked on the first ball pitch to him, sent a long drive out to right center field, which forced Sam Chapman to move quickly to his left. Chapman came up with the ball, threw into Eddie Juiced, but too late, as Bob Kennedy slid in with the second hit in the ball game of Bobby Shantz. So Kennedy is on. Cleveland Indians now have a runner in scoring position. Bob Kennedy on second base here in the top of the third with nobody out, and the batter is Allie Clark. He sent a fly ball to right field his first time up. Takes the first pitch, a call strike on him. And Shantz fired a fastball over the outside corner. Don't confuse Bobby Shantz with Charlie Shantz, who pitches with the Boston Red Sox. Bobby spells his name Shantz, and Charlie Shantz spells his name a little differently. The next ball pitched, and Clark drills it a hard line drive down the third base line. Dillinger's up with it on the first hop, throws over to first base, and that's all for Clark. Dillinger took that ball, a very hard smash on the first hop, turned and chased Bob Kennedy back into second base, and then cut loose with a throw across the infield to Ferris Fain, and Clark was up by a stride at first base. So there's one away here in the top half of the third. Now that brings up big Luke Easter. Luke walked his first time up, so he has not been officially charged for the time at bat. And the big guy bats left-handed. The first pitch to him. Shantz takes a look at the runner, stretches, throws. It's strike ball. And Shantz caught the inside corner with a curveball. They pitch this big fellow, Luke Easter, fairly tight. They try to keep the ball on the inside to him to prevent him from using that tremendous weight which he has. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, and it's a drive down the third baseline. It's in there for a base hit. Just inside the bag. Here comes Kennedy turning third. Easter's going into second base, and he is in, standing up with a double. Shantz now picks up his sign from Astroth, winds, throws, and it's high inside. The count is now 3-1. So far, the Cleveland Indians getting off to a rollicking start here in this ball game at Shibe Park. I was kidding Bob Lemon before the ball game started down on the bench, and he almost chased me right out of the ballpark, Al.
Oh, you're always kidding him.
Here's the next pitch, and Doby takes high inside for ball 4. And that is walk number 3, given up by Bobby Shantz here this afternoon. So the tiny left-hander has been touched for 2 runs on 3 hits, and he's walked 3. The Indians now runners on first and second. The batter standing in is Al Rosen. He walked his first time up, and it cost Shantz. He scored the first run of the ball game. Here's the first pitch to him. It's high outside, ball 1. As Frankie Fish always says, the base on balls will kill you.
That's what he said. I heard the man say it.
Yes, sir, they're costly.
I used to laugh at him when he was broadcasting, Art. He'd throw his hands up in the air and say, "Oh, those bases on balls."
He's probably voted twice as loud now, Al.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Here's the next pitch to Rosen. Sends a line smash right into center field. Here comes Easter rounding third base, coming in to score. The throw comes in from Chapman, and it's cut off by Fain. And another run comes in to score for the Cleveland Indians. So, with Rosen. Belts a solid single into center field to score Easter from second base and send Doby on to second. And that is run batted in number 40 for Al Rosen. Well, here in the top of the third inning, the Indians going right to work. Kennedy got a double. Clark bounced out to third. Easter hit a double to score Kennedy. Doby walked, and now Rosen drives in another run with a single. The batter up there is Boudreau. He hit the first ball pitch to it. It's a line drive into center field. Taken by Wally Moses. That is the double play. The double play. Boudreau stepped up there batting right-handed. Hit the first ball pitch to him, to Wally Moses in right field. Moses caught the ball, threw into first base to Ferris Fain, and the play went 9-3-6. Ferris Fain momentarily held the ball because he thought he had a chance that they might call Rosen out at first. And while Fain was holding the ball, Doby had gone all the way over to third, so Fain just merely threw over to Eddie Juiced, and Doby had no chance to get back to second base in time. So the double play went 9-3-6. And here in the top half of the third inning, for the Cleveland Indians, there were 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left on. And so the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia Athletics nothing. Well, now for the business of the last half of the third inning, as the Philadelphia Athletics trail by 3 runs, and the double play just completed by Philadelphia was their 70th of the season, and they lead the American League in the double play department. Boudreau really hit that ball. Well, to start things off, the top of the batting order stands in for the Athletics. Bob Dillinger starts off for the A's, takes the first ball pitch to him, and it's outside, ball 1. Dillinger, the spectacled third baseman, bats him right-handed, stands with his feet well apart in the batter's box. Bob Lemon on the mound has his sign from Hegan, winds, here's the pitch. It's a strike call as Dillinger looked at the slider. Bob Lemon's chief pitch that he gets you out on, he likes to throw that slider. It's a fastball that breaks and dips a little bit as it gets up to the plate. Here's the next one. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, strike 2. I was kidding Bob down on the bench before the ball game started. I said, Bob, you know, in the last 5 days, I've seen 5 ball games, and I've seen 122 runs scored on 158 hits. And Bob says, well, if you think you're going to jinx me, he said, just back up your microphones and get out of town. Well, now Lemon's ready for the next one. Here it is. And he sidearms him. Strike 3 call. Bob Lemon strided well over toward third base, came around with that sidearm, and a fastball caught the outside corner to Dillinger for strike 3. So Bob Lemon's rather hot here this afternoon. 4 strikeouts so far in 2+ innings. Now, let's see. He struck out Lehner, struck out Juice, struck out Shantz, and now he strikes out Dillinger. Wally Moses hits the first ball pitch to him. It's a solid single into left field as Wally goes down and takes the turn. Larry Doby fielding the ball, coming in on it, and tossing into second base. So, elderly Wally, he touches Lemon for his second hit. That's the second solid single, which has been surrendered by Lemon. Sam Chapman got the other one. So the Athletics here in the last half of the third inning, striving to get back into this ball game. They need 3 runs. Have Wally Moses on first with 1 out. The next batter up is Paul Lehner. He takes low and inside a curveball for ball 1. Lehner struck out his first time up, but he's batting for an average of 331, getting off to 330 on one of the finest starts of his baseball career. That's a left-handed. Ball 2, a slider low outside. Lehner stands with his, he's a left-handed batter, and he stands with his left foot as far back in the batter's box as he can get it, but he's up close. He hugs that plate, chokes up on the bat just slightly. Here's the next pitch to him. He takes inside for ball 3. And the count is 3-0. Bob Lemon now checks Moses as he moves off first. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, and it's a high pop fly going to the infield. Flip Rosen shading his eyes, calling for the ball just off third base, and he makes the catch. And that's all for Paul Lehner as he pops out to Flip Rosen. So 2 men are out, top of the last half of the third inning. And standing in now is the cleanup hitter of the Athletics, Sam Chapman, and he bats him right-handed. Sam got a single to left field, left center his first time up. You know, a funny thing about this Bob Lemon, before the ball game will be over, his shirt tail will be really pulled out in front. Lots of times he has to call time and tuck it in. Now he checks Moses. Here's the pitch to Chapman, and it's a strike call. Chapman had a notion to go after that pitch. He held back, but the ball was right in there. And so the count on him is strike 1. And all of the ball players will tell you that the farther Bob Lemon's shirt comes out of his trousers, the more stuff he has, the more he's bearing down. Here's the next pitch, and Chapman takes outside for a ball, 1-1. They play Sam Chapman deep, Flip Rosen directly below us. We're high up on top of the second deck here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia, and you look right down on third base. And Flip Rosen is playing well deep back at third and about 6 feet off the line. They're playing Chapman to pull that ball. Larry Doby playing in left center. Chapman bats him right-handed, you know. Here's the next pitch to him. He takes outside for ball 2. And the count is 2-1. Coaching for the Philadelphia Athletics at first base is Bing Miller. And directly below us at third base is Jimmy Dykes. Well, there's a couple of great athletics of yesteryear on the coaching line. Here's the next pitch by Lemon, and he fires a fastball right across the letters to Chapman for called strike 2. So on the scoreboard, see 2 balls, 2 strikes on the hitter, 2 men out. Wally Moses playing close at first, taking no chances. Athletics trailing here by a 3-0 score in the last half of the third inning.
It's turned out to be one of those close ones. Shantz taking his sign. Left-hander throws. Fastball is hit down and through into left field. Right between short and third and out into left. And the Villa is on. As the ball is picked up out in left field by Paul Lehner and fired in to second base, Billy Hitchcock. So Avila starts the fourth inning with a single to left. And that off Shantz will be hit number 5. Jimmy Hegan had a single to left center field back in the second inning and drove in one of the Cleveland 3 runs. He started off today hitting 237. All right-handed batsman, feet wide, spread apart, squares up the bunt, pushes the bunt back toward the mound. Shantz steals it. His play goes back to second base, and it's in time to Juice for force out. On Hegan coming down, on Avila coming down. So an attempted sacrifice goes as a force out. Get Hegan on at first base. And on that attempted sacrifice, if you're scoring with us this afternoon, have Avila out at second as it goes from Shantz, the pitcher, to Juice, the shortstop, covering at second base. Shantz had to hurry on that and did it very nicely. The batter now is Bob Lemon. Bob is 0 for 1. He hit back to the mound, was thrown out in the second inning. The lieutenant batsman groups one over third base and it drops foul just outside of the line as he went for Shantz's outside pitch. It was a slider thrown to a left-handed batter. So the count is 0-1 on Bob Lemon. And while Lemon comes back up to the plate, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Now Bob Lemon has stepped back in with 1 out and 1 on here in the top of the fourth inning. Waggles that bat back and forth, and Shantz looks over at Hegan. Down comes the pitch. There goes Hegan. The ball is swung on, and a slow dribbler through the infield into left. There goes Hegan into third. Later so comes into Dillinger third in time for the out. Jimmy Hegan slid into third all right, but he didn't get there in time. So Lemon will be credited with a single into left field. He stays at first base. He didn't move. Hegan will be moved down to second on that single into left field. But Paul Lehner's very nice throw to Bob Dillinger at third base gets Hegan sliding into third for out number 2. Hegan into third. Lehner so comes into Dillinger third in time for the out. Jimmy Hegan slid into third all right, but he didn't get there in time. So Lemon will be credited with a single into left field. He stays at first base. He didn't move. Hegan will be moved down to second on that single into left field. But Paul Lehner's very nice throw to Bob Dillinger at third base gets Hegan sliding into third for out number 2. That'll be hit number 6 off Shantz. I imagine Shantz will give you a base hit any time for an out. There are 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. Lemon is on at first base, and the batter now is Kennedy. Bob has 1 hit in 2 times up. He got a double to right center field back in the third inning. He was worked around to score when Easter accidentally doubled down the left field line following. There's a curveball into a right-handed batsman for a strike. Very nice one, flipped in and over. 3-2 in favor of the Cleveland Indians over Philadelphia as we are moving in the top half of the fourth inning at Shibe Park. Shantz kicks, throws, fastball swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate. Moving on that one also was Bob Lemon. He was running. So he has to go back and do it all over again. Had a nice warm day here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. Brilliant sunshine, blue skies, white fleecy clouds. Anybody bring my hammock? How's that again, Mr. Gleason?
Tired again.
Yeah, get real tired. This is just the kind of day you like to lean back and watch these boys working down on the field. Fast pitch by Bobby Shantz is outside to a right-handed batsman. Count is 1 ball now and 2 strikes. Kennedy seems to bend those knees down and sort of spring at the pitch as it's thrown in there. Shantz delivers. High and outside, a pitch out, throw down to first base, not in time. Very close at first. Lemon had to hustle to get back in as Ferris Fain left that ball around on him. Astroth had called for a pitch out. So the count is 2-2 on Bob Kennedy up there batting. Lemon was pretty hard pressed to get back in. Had to come back in with a hook slide. Shantz delivers 2-2, and the ball was hit off the end of the bat foul down the first baseline. So the count rides right along at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got quite a kick out of a letter sent to us from North Carolina, telling us about the doings down in North Carolina. We'd like to visit back and forth with you folks. Shantz throws. A fastball is hit down to shortstop. Juiced is up with it. Makes the long play across the diamond to Fain at first base. And that's off Kennedy. So 1 man was stranded on. Out threat, but no more. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, 1 man left on. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, the score, Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia A's 2. Well, let's see. Now our red-headed engineer, Al Smith, is opening the potentiometer for the last half of inning number 4. And Eddie Juiced is going to open it for Philadelphia as the batsman. He'll be followed by Hitchcock and then by Astroth. 3-2 in favor of Cleveland as Bob Lemon goes out to the hill to do the pitching for the Indians. A few minutes ago, Art Gleason was talking about the All-Star game and about the proceeds from the All-Star game going to take care of baseball's own. But don't forget that you, the fans, have your opportunity again this year of selecting the starting lineups in the All-Star game. You can select everybody but the starting pitcher. We'll tell you about that in just a few moments and how you can do it. As Lemon pitches to the plate, there's a ball swung on, a foul tip by Eddie Juiced. His count is 0-1 now. He struck out the first inning. We'd like all of our good friends to be able to vote for the ball clubs and the players that they want to see play in the All-Star game. And here's how you do it. And we're going to help you. All you have to do is take a fresh, clean piece of paper. On one side, mark American League. And on the other side, mark National League. And then name your starting lineups, excluding the pitcher. Right through, everybody, every position, but the pitcher. The managers have that prerogative. They can select the pitchers themselves. Now, after this next pitch, I'll tell you about it. Juice takes it. It's right through there for a strike. 0-2 is the count on Eddie Juice. Then after you have your team selected, send them in to Mutual's Game of the Day, Mutual Broadcasting System, New York, 18 New York, and mark on the outside of the envelope, baseball ballot. There's a sidearmer thrown in there. Juice takes it low. And the count is 1-2. And then Art Gleason and I will see to it that your vote is given to the proper authority. So it can be counted. But you must do it before Friday, June the 23rd. There's a curveball thrown in there to Juice. It's outside. The count is 2-2. Because you see, the balloting on the All-Star game ends at midnight on Friday, June 23rd. And we must have it before that time so we can tote it over to the offices where they're making the count. But come on now, folks. Name your All-Star team. You've got a chance to do it this year. Curveball thrown to Juice. In there, good for call, strike 3. So we have one out here in the last half of the 4th inning, and Bob Lemon has just thrown his 5th strikeout. Here is Billy Hitchcock. We haven't heard a great deal about Billy Hitchcock. He's a utility infielder on the Athletics. But kind of gets you caught up on Billy. He's a Scotch-Irishman and attended Auburn College down in Auburn, Alabama. Got a B.A. degree from there. He's a Bachelor of Arts, this young fella, right-handed batsman. That B.A., he would like to make batting average up here in the big show. There's a curve to him outside for a ball. He started out in 1939 with Kansas City in the New York Yankee chain, where he played third base and shortstop. Down comes the pitch to him. Another one outside, sweeping curve. His count is 2 balls, no strikes. And with Kansas City back in 39, 11 years ago, Billy Hitchcock hit 263. Last year with Boston, he hit 204. He was with Boston Red Sox as the first baseman, second baseman, with them at 48 and 49. Previous to that time, was with St. Louis, Detroit, and Washington. Hitchcock takes a curve. This one's low. That's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. We're in the last half of the fourth. 1 out, nobody on. The Cleveland Indians leading 3-2. Now Lemon ready. Throws. Hitchcock takes. A nice one, 2 there for strike. 3-1 is the count on Bill Hitchcock. Hitchcock standing just off the plate. A little back from it. Has a straightaway stance to the pitcher. Holds that bat in his right shoulder. Takes a curve inside at the knees. Ball 4. So Hitchcock has walked. That's the third base on balls given up by Bob Lemon. Now Lemon has to face Joe Astroth. Another fellow we haven't heard a great deal about either. Astroth hasn't been doing all the hind snatching here for Philadelphia. Now the name of Furman Guerra has been working quite a bit behind the plate, but Joe Astroth started off with Philadelphia in 1945 with the Athletics. About 10 games for them that year. That was his first year in baseball. He takes a pitch now high, up with the cap for ball 1. He didn't do much hitting in 1945. His batting percentage was only .059. Then he ventured into the minor leagues. Toronto, Lancaster, then came back to Philadelphia in 46. Swings on his pitch and fouls it off. The count is 1-1. Then in 1947, down in the Sally League, Joe Astroth showed up with Savannah. He was with Memphis in 1948. In 1949, the Athletics said, come on back home now, Joe, and catch a few ball games for us. So he was in 55, where he batted 243. So Joe Astroth has been around ever since. Joseph Henry Astroth. He attended University of Illinois in 1941-42. Another college boy playing ball. Bob Lemon throws, 1-1, and Astroth beats it back to shortstop. Boudreau shovels it over. Davila for 1 out. The throw on the east to 2 outs. Double play. That's the 50th double play for Cleveland. First one here this afternoon. So caught in the middle of that double play was Hitchcock. It was a 6-4-3 affair. And starting it was the manager himself, Lou Boudreau. Big Blue Keister closed it out at first base with a sweep of that big mitt of his. So there's nothing across for Philadelphia here in the last half of the fourth inning. And at the end of 4, the score stands Cleveland 3, the Athletics 2. Now for the stuff here in the top half of the fifth inning with Clark, Easter, and Doby. Well, we've had a home run here this afternoon, hit by Philadelphia's Sam Chapman, his 7th of the year. We said it boosted Philadelphia up to 41 home runs, and both clubs had started off today at 40 even. You have a guess right now about how many home runs have been hit in the American and National Leagues right up to this minute? Well, we'll tell you. In the National League, 322 home runs have been pelted. In the American League, including the one just hit by Sam Chapman a few moments ago, the American League has hit 307 home runs. So that's a total of 629 home runs hit in Major League Baseball right up to date. That's clouding that potato pretty well, and I can understand very much now why Pittsburgh wants to move the fences back, and so do the Cincinnati Reds. This ball, just about as live as it can be, is being belted all over the parks. Up there now is Alec Clark, 0 for 2. Right-handed batsman swings on the first pitch and doesn't get it. That's strike 1. It's another ball we haven't seen too much of either. Down comes the first pitch to him, the next pitch to him, and it's outside for first ball. Those counters 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alfred Aloysius Clark swings on this next pitch and foul hits it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Alec Clark. Now, this boy Clark has played in a couple of World Series. He played in, if you recall, the 1947 World Series with New York and 48 Cleveland. Next pitch to him is high and outside for ball 2. His count is 2-2. 1949, Clark was with San Diego in the Pacific Coast League. Cleveland shipped him back there. Down comes the next pitch to him. It's a drive down to third. Dillinger over to his left, picks up nicely, throws to first base. Alec Clark is out. 5-3 if you're scoring with us on that one. 1 away in the top half of the fifth inning. This Alec Clark started off with Easton of the Eastern Shore League in 1941. So he's put his 9th year in baseball. 1943, 44, and 45. He was on the Newark roster, but he was in military service. Big Luke Easter comes wandering up there now. As he steps in, Shantz immediately fires the first pitch past him. He didn't even give Easter a chance to settle down. He just reared back and heaved it in there for ball one. Easter jumped back as though somebody had shot him. Big fella looks at this pitch and crosses him. It's in there for a strike. Nice curve, and Shantz had it dancing in there just above the knees. Easter this afternoon has doubled on his only official at-bat. That was in the third inning, and he accidentally hit that one. Shantz throws, keeps it tight against Easter, who swings on it, and there's a high fly ball out into left center field. Coming in for it is Paul Lanner, and he's got it. That's all for Easter. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. That brings up Larry Doby. Doby was on at first base by forcing out Easter in the first inning, and then in the third he was walked. So he's officially 0 for 1 here this afternoon. Started off batting today at .364 as the number 4 batsman in the American League. Shantz ready to face him now. The left-hander has that left foot up on the rubber in a pigeon-toed fashion. Pumps once, twice, kicks, throws. A quickie in there for strike. 0-1 is the count on left-handed batsman Larry Doby. Doby stands just smack off the plate. Feet very wide spread apart. Holds that bat way back behind his left shoulder. Shantz tries a curve on him. It slipped down to the right side and out into right field for a base hit. It was a grounder all the way, and Larry Doby's on at first base. So off Shantz, that's at number 7. And for Cleveland with 2 away, Doby is now resting at first base. He's stand down there right now talking to Ferris Spain, who's holding the inside corner against him. And Flip Rosen, who was walked in the second, drilled a single to center, and batted in 1 run in the third inning. Coming up there. The Flipper started off today hitting .274. That base hit will get him up to about .280. Playing their arm this afternoon. They pitch out. There's no throw to first as Doby wasn't going. They have to watch Doby quite a lot. He's stolen 5 bases this year. And he comes crawling off first base, and he'll feint one way and feint the other, and then first thing you know, he's off and gone. The Flipper started off today hitting at .274. That base hit will get him up to about .280. Playing their arm this afternoon. There's a pitch out. There's no throw to first as Doby wasn't going. They have to watch Doby quite a lot. He's stolen 5 bases this year. And he comes crawling off first base, and he'll feint one way and feint the other, and then first thing you know, he's off and gone. Despite the fact that Shantz is left-hander, Doby may try to steal. There's a throw to first. Doby has to hurry back. He does. You ever see a guy crawl off first base like that, Art?
No, I never have, Al.
Go to the plate, swung on. There's a bounding ball to third. Dillinger's up with it. His wide throw is picked up very nicely by Ferris Spain. Out of the dirt. Time for the out. So Rosen bounces out from third to first for out number 3 here in the top half of the 5th inning. So Cleveland has no runs here in this frame on 1 hit, and they had 1 man left on. That was Larry Doby, stranded at first base. They've had 5 men left on now. At the end of 4 1/2 innings, the score stands Cleveland 3, the Philadelphia Athletics 2. Now for the last half of inning number 5, and the little fellow himself is going to come up for Philadelphia. Mother Shantz, S-H-A-N-T-Z. And Art explained to you a little while ago the difference between Shantz of Boston and Shantz of Philadelphia. Shantz of Boston spells his name S-C-H-A-N-Z, and it's pronounced as though there were a W in it. Charlie Shantz. And this is Shantz, S-C-H-A-N-T-Z. Bobby's coming up there now. He's a right-handed batter. He struck out back in the second inning for his first at-bat today. Started off today batting at 130. Now Bobby's in there, and Bob Lemon out on the mound, ready to face him. So a couple of Bobs going down there. Hey, Bob, to you, Bob. Oh, it's Bebop now, isn't it, Art? That's right. Bebop. Yep. Got to get up with things. There's a curveball thrown in there to Shantz. It's high for ball 1. Shantz way up on that bat. Stands way forward at the plate, almost ahead of it. Swings at this pitch and fouls it off to the left. As I said before, he holds that bat so far up that he's got to hold it away from his body. And when he comes around on the swing, he's going to plunk himself in the short ribs just as sure as he is 5 feet 7 inches high. Lemon throws. Shantz after it again. Once more, he fouls it down the third baseline. So the count on Bobby is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last half of the 5th inning. And the Philadelphia Athletics are 1 run behind. The score stands 3-2. Favorite Cleveland. On deck to go next is Dillinger. Lemon settles down, throws, a sidearmer that picks up the outside corner for call strike 3. Shantz was in there, too. He didn't even wait for the call by Art Passarelli. He just started to walk away. So that's strikeout number 6 for Bob Lemon. And that brings up Bob Dillinger, who struck out his last at-bat also. That was in the 3rd. And grounded out Flip Rosen in the 1st. So Dillinger this afternoon, leading off for the A's, is 0-2. Lemon tries a soft, easy curve that floats through and over for a strike. 0-1 on Dillinger. Lemon over his head again, throws a fastball outside. Down is 1-1. Bob Dillinger batting for the Athletics. 1 out, last half of the 5th, nobody on. And score 3-2 in case you just tuned in with us, 3-2 Cleveland. Lemon working on the mound, throws a slow curve, swung on a miss for a strike. 1-2 is the count on the Philadelphia third baseman. Lemon down after the rosin bag. There's that shirt Taylor. He's really flopping out now. According to that article written in Taylor's Pink Sporting News, and it was a dandy. I'll tell you about that in a minute. There's a curveball thrown, and Dillinger fouls this one off. So the count rides along at 1-2. According to that article in Sporting News, the harder Bob Lemon works, the more his shirt tail flops out. Well, he must be working this afternoon, Art, because he's got enough material there to put a jib on a sailboat.
Well, you notice that terrific stretch he takes in his hands over his head. I think that's what caused it.
Oh, sure. He throws a curveball. It's slapped at. This time a foul ball is sent up behind first base, going way up amongst the spec. Oh, somebody grabbed it. Yes, they did. Well, that ball just bounced around between the customers up there amongst them. 5 or 6 hands grabbed it, and it looked as though they were playing volleyball with it instead of trying to get it and put it in their pockets. Ah, me. No place like a ballpark any day. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count on Dillinger. Lemon's over his head again, throws. There's a side armor that's hit back to third base. The pickup, the throw over by Rosen to Luke Easter in time. And that's all for Bob Dillinger. Bouncing out to his opposing third baseman. That brings up Wally Moses. You talk about a running guy this afternoon. Elderly Wally, as Art calls him, has been doing the running between first and second. He's been shuttling back and forth like the shuttle train between Grand Central Station in New York and 42nd Street. He's been on the move. Baldwin grins. Ben sitting back at his own special desk here today. He uses that shuttle train all the time. He won't walk those 4 blocks. Lemon delivers. Wally Moses runs up on it and takes it. Cuss him. It's in there for strike. And Wally Moses actually runs up on a pitch. He stands deep in batter's box, and when the pitch is made, he takes a little chopping step up toward that pitch. He says it gives him more drive, and probably it does. Lemon throws again. Wally takes this one. It's outside. Count is 1-1. 2 outs. Last half of the 5th inning, Wally Moses up there. 1 hit and 1 official try. He was walked back in the first inning, single to center. In the second, was worked around to score. Lemon throws to him low. That's ball 2. 2-1. Now Moses stands there. Lemon takes a sign from Hegan. There's the mid-up as a target. Lemon, with his swinging, pumping motion, delivers an easy curve way down on the inside. Oh, Wally just watched that one sail by for ball 3. 3-1. Talking about old-timers. We got a letter from Arthur Miller out in Phoenix. He must be an old-timer in baseball, or around baseball. There's a throw inside for ball 4. So Wally Moses throws his stick away as he picks up his second walk. The afternoon, that's the 4th one given up by Lemon, and twice he's walked Wally Moses. But Al Miller signed his letter, adios, amigos, from Phoenix, Arizona. Wish I had time to read the whole letter to you. It's a dilly. Got to read a little of it to you in a minute. He talks about Arizona, the land of sunshine. It is, too. I've been out there in Phoenix. That's quite a town. Now Lemon is ready to pitch to Paul Lehner. Left-handed batsman hits one down to the right side. Coming up with it nicely is Avila. Throws it into first base. That's all for Lehner. He bounces out 4-3. And in the last half of the fifth inning for the Athletics, no runs, no hits, no errors on the Indians, and there was one Athletic left on. They've now stranded 4. At the end of 5 innings, the score, the Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia Athletics 2. Well, we're ready for the business of the top half of the 6th inning. The man standing up there at the plate for Cleveland is Lou Boudreau, the manager himself. And Lou this afternoon has hit into one double play. That came in the 3rd inning, and he hit back to the pitcher in the 2nd, was thrown out. So Lou's 0 for 2. He started out this afternoon hitting at .254, so he's dropped a few percentage points. First pitch made by Shantz to a right-handed batsman, picks up the inside corner, right at the knees for a called strike. Shantz working right back, throws a change-up curve outside and high. Now the count is 1-1 on Boudreau. We said we wanted to tell you about this letter from Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to read a little bit of it to you in just a second. Shantz throws, Boudreau takes a curveball that hangs just above the letters for ball 2. As reading further in that letter, we see that Mr. Miller is an old-time baseball man because he tells us that he was in the bleachers the day in 1906 when young Ty Cobb came up and broke in. How about that, huh? Curveball thrown into the dirt to Lou Boudreau, and his count is 3-1. Well, Mr. Miller starts off to say, gentlemen. He assumes that Mr. Gleason and I are gentlemen, for which we thank him very much. He says, needless to say, we here in the Valley of the Sun, out here in Arizona, where the frogs can't swim and the jackrabbits carry canteens, and the fish are humpbacked from trying to keep their heads and tails underwater at the same time. Out here where the rivers run upside down and where there's more cows and less milk, where you can see farther and see less, where there are fewer bathtubs but cleaner people than anywhere else in the United States, we like your game of the day, and we're glad of it. Boudreau hits the next pitch. There's a ground ball down to first base. Picked up a fair strain. He steps on first base. Boudreau is out. So we have one away in the top of the 6th inning. Here's Bob Avila. Well, the fans just a moment ago, you hear roaring in the crowd, reached out of the stands, the lower railing, and asked for a ball, and one of the ball players threw a ball into the stands to him. Couldn't see who it was. Now Shantz is ready to go to work on Avila. Pitch comes into the young fella. It's a fast one on the outside for ball 1. Shantz takes his sign again from Astroth. Avila steps away from the plate slightly, then steps into this pitch, doesn't offer, and it's through there for strike. 1-1. By the way, Art, Mr. Miller wants us to come out and visit out in Arizona. He says he'll show us where those humpback fish are at.
I probably couldn't even catch them.
Shantz throws. Avila swings and doesn't get it. So Avila's count has gone to 1-2 now. Yes, sir. Like Art Gleason and I have told you, time and time again, every one of the letters that come in, we read them. We like to know what you say and what you're thinking. That's the way we can visit back and forth, you know. Last pitch, in there for called strike 3, and Avila is out. And Bobby Shantz hangs up his first strikeout this afternoon. He's been quite effective when he's had to have it, but this is the first time that he's had to be that effective. So that's a total in the game of 7 strikeouts because Lemon has 6 of them. 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, and here's Jim Hegan. 1 hit and 2 tries. Swings at this pitch and fouls one right down to Al Simmons, coaching in the box at third base. Al Simmons, who made quite a name for himself right here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. Remember old foot in the bucket stance? Used to like to watch him hit hard.
He could hit.
Yeah, he could really slam that apple. Shantz delivers to the plate a soft, easy curve that Higgins hits down to shortstop. Juiced up with it. There's the long throw across the diamond to Payne's waiting mitt, and that's all for Hegan. Rounding out from short first. So nothing across for the Philadelphia Athletics, top half of the 6th inning. And at the end of 5 1/2, the score, Cleveland 3, Philadelphia 2. Well, now for the last half of the 6th inning with Chapman, Payne, and Juice. Well, everybody, you've probably noticed the absence of scores on this broadcast of other ball games. Well, today there just aren't any other ball games being played. There aren't any ball games being played in the Major League period. Back to right-hander, takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Lemon, unmindful of the fact that Chapman has wrapped him twice, comes in with the next pitch, misses just outside, and it's 1-1. So, actually, here this afternoon, our very good friend Ben Baldwin isn't hopping around as much as usual, as he doesn't have any scores to compile for us. Now we're ready to go. Throw to the plate to Chapman is a high fast one that sort of takes off, sails away. That's ball 2. 2-1. Chapman waggling that bat back and forth. Bob Lemon taking his good old time out on the mound. He's in no hurry. Delivers. Chapman takes way outside. That's ball 3, and the count is 3-1. And Jim Hegan, the Cleveland catcher, walks out in front of the plate. Sort of snapped that ball right back at Lemon as if to say, come on there, reject. It's funny, the nicknames ball players pick up along the way. Lemon throws 3-1, in there for strike. Now it's 3-2. But most of the time when you kid them about their nicknames, they'll kid you right back. Now the 3-2 count on Chapman. The pitch and play swung on. Chapman drills one down and right over Flip Rosen's shoulder at third base and out into left field. It's going to be a single for Sam Chapman because Flip Rosen went down to pick that ball up. It hit something on the diamond. It bounced actually right over his shoulder and out into left field. So Chapman opens in the 6th inning with a purple single out into left. And then off, Lemon is hit number 4. And coming up there at the plate now is Ferris Payne. Payne batting left-handed. He's 0 for 1 official time's up, and Lemon has the tying run on behind him now at first base. Looks over there, throws to the plate, and Payne squaring off to Bunt takes it, and it's right through there for a strike. Lemon's going back to visit the rosin bag, so let's pause briefly. Now Lemon's all squared away down there, and he's ready to throw to Ferris Payne. Sam Chapman leads off at first base. Down comes the pitch, under the knees. Count is 1-1. And that double single, everybody, well, could be the turning point in this ball game. Of course, only the time it's coming up is going to hold the answer on that one. But we'll know in a few minutes. Sam Chapman got himself a double single, ball hopping over the left shoulder of Flip Rosen at third base. And he's on at first. In case you tuned in late with us, the score is Cleveland 3 and Philadelphia 2. And Philadelphia has a tying run on. There goes Chapman, the pitch to the plate. He's taken way outside. The throw goes down. Boudreau takes the ball as the runner, Sam Chapman, tries to get back to first. Fires it over to Luke Easter, and the out has been affected anyway. So they cut him trying to steal. The pitch to the plate was outside for ball 2. And Ferris Payne, out there at the plate, didn't have a ghost of a chance of swinging, even to protect the runner. So they had it all figured rightly. So the big chance is gone to the boards now as Chapman is out stealing from the catcher, Hegan, to Lou Boudreau, and over to Luke Easter. The next pitch from the plate to Payne is outside and low for ball 3. And as Art Gleason just now observed, there's a very good possibility that mixed up in there, a sign could have been missed. And that's the reason that there wasn't a swing anyway. But he couldn't have reached it. The throw was way outside because Hegan had called for a pitch out. A fastball thrown in there on the inside for ball 4. So Payne has walked. And had it not been for Chapman being cut down trying to steal, Philadelphia would have the potential tying run on second base right this minute. But instead, they now have the potential tying run in Payne on at first base and 1 out. Eddie Juice coming up. He struck out twice. That's not very much to Mr. Juice's liking. He'd like to get a hold of one. He's hit 7 home runs. And as far as RBIs are concerned, he has 16. So he hasn't been as productive this year as he was last year up until this time. But Juice is always a threat at the plate, and goes on to pitch him as such, undoubtedly. Lemon tries a fastball. And it's hit down to shortstop. Boudreau picks it up, plays it back to Avila for the out at second base. There's no throw on the first. So put Juice on first base, forcing out Payne at second from manager Lou Boudreau, the shortstop, over to Bob Avila, the second baseman. And still the tying run is on for Philadelphia. And here is Billy Hitchcock, who came off the bench here just 2 weeks ago today and smashed a home run to tie up a ball game. Pinch hit home run. Down in the Cleveland bullpen, Sam Zoldak, a left-hander, and Al Benton, the right-hander, both getting ready in case Bob Lemon falters any more here in the last half of the sixth inning. Billy Hitchcock batting right-handed. Lemon throws. Hitchcock swings. There's a long fly ball going out into left center field. Larry Doby's way over fast to his right. He's under it now. He's got it. So the inning goes by the boards with the Philadelphia Athletics threatening but not scoring. No runs, one hit. No errors. They had one man left on. So at the end of the sixth inning, the score remains Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia Athletics 2. Well, let's see now. We're about to start the seventh inning. Say, Pop's got his false teeth all glued back in. His toupee cemented on. And let me hear those teeth clack together. That hurts. You got to get a little closer. Atta boy. You ready?
Say, Al, you were talking about Ben not being busy mentioning those teeth clattering together. What do you say we send him down and get one of those nice, juicy, tasty hot dogs, huh?
You think we ought to have a hot dog?
Sure, as long as he's down there getting those hot dogs.
How about some peanuts?
Some peanuts, and I think I'll have, as long as Bob Lemon's pitching, I think I'll have some lemon pop.
Oh, that did it. That did it.
Well, here we go, the top of the seventh. And speaking of Lemon, he's the first batter up. That's him left-handed. He throws right, you know. Takes the first pitch by Shantz. Inside, it's ball one. Lemon, as Al told you, he's a good hitter for a pitcher because he's played the outfield and third base. He's had a lot of hitting experience. The next pitch to him, he takes high for ball two. And Bobby Shantz a little bit perturbed about the call on the last pitch. Threw him a curveball, and he thought he caught that inside corner. Now he toes the rubber, looks down, gets his sign from Joe Astroth behind the plate for the Athletics. Winds, throws, and Lemon takes for call strike one. And Lemon was taking all the way. The minute that Shantz threw that pitch, Lemon just stepped back in the batter's box and let it freeze over. So the count on him now is 2 balls, 1 strike. There's the wind-up. Here's the next pitch. And Lemon takes a slow curve for call strike 2. 2-2. Shantz really pulled the string on that one. A slow, wide-sweeping curveball. This little fellow, he's got a lot of stuff. He's fast, throws you the fast curve, the slow curve. Then he'll throw you that change of pace. Here's the next one. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And Lemon went after a sharp-breaking curve, and he failed to connect. So there's one away here on the top of the seventh. And that is strikeout number 2 by Bobby Shantz this afternoon. He struck out Bobby Avila in the 6th inning. So the top of the batting order, Bob Kennedy. He stands in. He's got 1 hit. Got a double in the 3rd inning. 1 for 3. Bats him right. Takes a first pitch. And it costs him. A curveball breaks right over, belt high. Kennedy uses somewhat of an open stance as he takes his position in the batter's box. He swings on the next ball pitch, and there's a drive going out toward left field. And it is foul. And you could probably hear the crowd come up in the background because that ball looked like it might be fair, it might be foul all the way. And it went into the lower deck of the stands out left field way, foul by about 3 feet. So it's just a long strike and very discouraged. Bob Kennedy comes trudging back to the plate. You know, down the left field line here at Shibe Park, 334 feet, and down the right field line, 331. However, in left field, there's a double-deck bleacher. And out in right field, there's a fence about 35 feet high. So it's a little bit easier to poke that ball into the left field stands. However, you're hitting right into the teeth of the wind at the moment. Kennedy takes the next ball pitch, turn it high and outside for ball 1. 1-2. The wind is blowing in from the left field and going out over first base. Now Shantz has his sign, winds. Here's the next pitch to Kennedy. A change of pace, but low for ball 2. He pulled the string, the ball down below the knee. Dale Mitchell, outfielder's warming up down along the first baseline. And he'll probably go in to take Alec Clark's place should they use a right-hander. The next ball pitched, and Kennedy lashes it right into center field for a base hit. Chapman plays it on the first bounce, throws into Eddie Juice. And Kennedy is on with a single. And that was a line smash right over Shan's head, right over second base, into center field, where Chapman played it on the first bounce. And that is hit number 8. 8 hits surrendered by Bobby Shantz this afternoon. So here's Alec Clark. Takes the first pitch outside, a pitch out, but no throw down to first base. Well, Kennedy's got himself 2 for 4 so far. Clark has failed to hit in 3 trips. 0 for 3. First pitch to him is ball 1 way outside, a pitch out. Here's the next one. A curve hangs outside for ball 2. And the count is 2-0. Alec Clark, he's well put together individual, very solidly built. Swings that bat clear from the end, and he's got a great pair of arms. Now he waits. Here it is. A strike call. The slow curve catches the outside, and the count is 2-1. Clark bats him right-handed, and he stands rather well forward in the batter's box because he's not too tall, doesn't reach for that ball too much. And there's a throw over to first base, running Kennedy back. Out in center field, Sam Chapman is shaded slightly over toward left. He's playing in left center. The next pitch swung on in a high pop fly, going out behind second base. Back goes Billy Hitchcock. In comes Wally Moses, and Moses falls for it. He takes it. So Alec Clark flies out to Wally Moses in short right center field, directly behind second base, and Bob Kennedy hustles back to first. So here in the top of the 7th, with a 3-2 ball game, the Cleveland Indians leading by the margin of just a single run. For the benefit of some of you fans who might have tuned in a little bit late, Cleveland picked up 1 run in the second, 2 in the third, and the Athletics came back with their only 2 runs in the third inning. The last 3 innings have been scoreless. So here's big Luke Easter. He stands in with Kennedy on first, 2 men out. Bats are left-handed. He has 1 hit in 2 official trips. He walked his first time up. There's a throw over to Ferris Fain, chasing Kennedy back. Bobby Shantz, the left-hander, looking directly toward first. The first pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. And the fans here at Shibe Park get quite a kick out of big Luke Easter when he swings on the pitch. Because he's 6'4", weighs 240 pounds, he's big. And when he swings all over the place. They pitch him tight inside. Now Shantz checks the runner. Takes his stretch, delivers, and there's a high foul ball coming over this way. We have to get up. And it is out. Dillinger. We couldn't see it was directly below us, and we had to wait to see for the Athletics to move off the playing field. Dillinger came over right next to the stands. Astroth was also after that foul, but Dillinger made the catch. So that's all for Luke Easter as he fouls out down along the stand, along the third base line. And for the Cleveland Indians in the top half of the 7th inning, there were no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on. And the score remains at the end of 6.5 innings. The Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia Athletics 2. And now, as the fans here at Shibe Park settle back into their seats, we have a change in the Cleveland lineup. Dale Mitchell has gone into left field to replace Alec Clark. And we might analyze a bit of manager Lou Boudreau's strategy on that play. He probably thinks that Mitchell is a better outfielder, and he is playing defensive ball here in the late innings with a 1-run lead. The first batter up is Joe Astroth. He swings on Lemon's first pitch and droops one out into center field for a base hit. And that was a humpback single. A short line drive that just sailed out in short right center field. Coming in after the ball was Doby. Out in right field, Bob Kennedy tried to get to it, and Bobby Villa also tried to reach the ball, but there was no luck. So Bob Lemon, here in the last half of the 7th inning, surrenders his 5th hit, and that was what they call a humpback liner. A short fly ball into right center. So here's Bobby Shantz, the pitcher. And Bobby bunts the first ball pitch to him. It's down the first baseline, and the play goes to first base. Easter fields the ball, throws over to Avila. So, a sacrifice works. Bobby Shantz bunted the ball down the first baseline. Easter picked it up, so he had no chance to get Joe Astroth, who moved into second base. And then he threw the ball to Bobby Avila, who moved over to cover first. So credit Bobby Shantz with a sacrifice, moving Joe Astroth to second base. And two pitchers go to work in the Cleveland bullpen. Sam Zoldak and Al Dutton, a right and a left-hander. So the potential tying run is on at second base. The batter, Bob Dillinger. Last half of the seventh inning, a 3-2 score. Astroth moves off second. The first pitch to Dillinger. He takes outside, ball one. Dillinger has 0 for 3. Twice he bounced out to flip Rosen at third, and once he struck out. So there's the tying run out there on second base in this 3-2 ball game. Dillinger bats right. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, a fly ball out to right field, but it is curving foul. Bob Dillinger swung late on a fastball, tossed up there by Bob Lemon, and the ball dropped foul just inside the stand, down beyond the Cleveland bullpen. It's about 10 feet from the foul line to the stand, and the management here at Shibe Park have put mattresses, heavy padding out there to keep the outfielders from running into that stand. And the ball was fouled by about 10 feet. So the count on Dillinger, 1-1. Lemon now checks Astroth as he moves off second. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, and there's a ground ball, but foul. Well, that was a close one. Bob Dillinger got far out in front, and he laced one, but it missed foul by just about 6 inches past third base. And both umpire Jim Boyer, who was calling the plays at third, and Art Passarella behind the plate, turned and motioned towards the third base stands, which signifies it's a foul ball. If they motion toward the infield, that is the signal for a fair ball. If they motion the opposite way, away from the field, that's a foul. So, Dillinger has had 2 close ones. I got a Helfer all fouled up there.
That's the truth. I'm following you in the most confused way, buddy. That's a good description of it, Art. That's exactly what it was.
So the ball count now on Dillinger has moved to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that shows he can hit him to all fields, I'll say that.
That's true.
Now he waits for Lemon's next pitch. There goes Astroth, leading off second. There's the stretch, the pitch, and it's outside low for ball 2. Lemon tried to get him to go after a slow-breaking curveball that drifted outside. Now they play Dillinger straight away, Larry Doby straight away in center. Both right and left fielders. Dale Mitchell in left, Bob Kennedy in right in their normal positions. And the infield playing straight away. However, Rosen and Luke Easter both playing deep. Here's the next pitch. And it's low to Dillinger for ball 3. A fastball down below the knees. Manager Lou Boudreau originally started Alec Clark in left field because Bobby Shantz, the Philadelphia Athletic pitcher, is a little left-hander. But now in the late innings of the ball game, with Lemon holding a 1-run lead, a 3-2 lead, manager Lou Boudreau has sent Dale Mitchell out to play left and is playing defensive baseball. Now Lemon has his sign, check the runner. Here's the next pitch. It's high and outside to Dillinger, ball 4. Lemon surrenders his 6th base on balls of the afternoon as Dillinger walks. And the Athletics now have 2 men on. Joe Astroth, who represents the potential tying run, is on at second base. And Bob Dillinger, who represents the unlocking run in this ball game, is on at first. And the batter is Wally Moses. Wally has 1 hit and 2 walks in 3 times up. That's a left-handed. Takes the first pitch, it's low, ball 1. And momentarily, Bob Lemon is having trouble getting that ball over the plate. The fans here at Shibe Park start the rhythmic applause, calling for these Philadelphia Athletics to get back and tie up this ball game. Now we're ready. Run away, here's the next pitch. And Moses backs away from the fast and inside for ball 2. So Here's the picture, the top half of the seventh inning. The Cleveland Indians are in front 3-2. The Athletics batting with Joe Astroth on second, Bob Dillinger on first, one away, and the count is ball two here on Wally Moses. Manager Lou Boudreau calls into Lemon to get that ball over. The right-hander now bends forward to pick up his sign from Jimmy Hegan. Sets the runner off second base. Joe Astroth pitches, and it's a call strike. A fastball poured right through there, and the count moves to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Moses backed away from that pitch. It was right over the inside corner. The infield, manager Lou Boudreau has moved slightly over towards second base to play for this left-handed batter, Wally Moses. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, and there's a fly ball going deep out towards right field. It's way back. The ball is up against the fence. Here comes Astroth rounding third base, coming in to score. The throw comes into the plate, and he is safe at the plate. Well, there you have it. A tied-up ball game. Wally Moses held a long drive out right field way. Bob Kennedy went way back against the wall. He couldn't get to the ball, and the runners had to hold up to make sure that Kennedy was not going to make the catch. The ball was up off the fence, and Joe Astroth came around from second base to score, and the score is now 3-3. Moving into second base was Wally Moses, and Bob Dillinger went over to third. So that is the 9th run that Wally Moses has batted in this season, and I'll say this, that was an important one to be batted in because it tied up this ball game at 3-3. So the Athletics with 1 run in, Dillinger on third, Moses on second. Up to the plate now is Paul Lehner, and they're going to walk him. First base is open, and manager Lou Boudreau has asked Bob Lemon to put him on. And the strategy behind that play might be just this. With the bases loaded and only 1 man out, the Cleveland Indian infield has the chance to come up with that double play that will pull him out of the inning. So as Paul Lehner is purposely passed, that is the 7th walk issued by Lemon this afternoon. So that loads him up. Dillinger is on third, Moses on second, Lehner on first, and the score is tied 3-3. Batter now is Sam Chapman, and he's the guy that did all of the damage back in the 3rd inning. He got himself a home run with Wally Moses on base to bat in the first 2 Philadelphia runs. Big, tall, well-built, right-handed batter. Takes the first pitch, it's outside, ball 1. Chapman's been having a field day. He's got 2 singles and a home run. He got a single to left field in the 1st inning, a home run to left field in the 3rd, and a home run to left, or a single to left field in the 6th. He swings on the next ball pitch, and he foul tips it right off catcher Jim Hegan's glove. So the count on Chapman, 1 ball, 1 strike. He has 3 for 3, and that undoubtedly will boost his .242 batting average. Bob Lemon now has his work cut out for him here. 1 run in, the bases filled, only 1 man out here in the last half of the 7th. Now Lemon bends way forward, picks up his sign. Now he goes into his windup. Here's the next pitch to Chapman. It's high, outside, ball 2. And down in the Cleveland bullpen, right-hander Al Benton and left-hander Sam Zoldak continue to warm up. Here's the next pitch to Chapman. It's high and outside for ball 3. And the count is 3-1. Jim Hegan moves out in front of the plate to say something to Bob Lemon, so let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. There's the next pitch, and Chapman swings at the high foul ball, drifting down the 3rd baseline, moving over in foul territory is Flip Rosen. He has it. And Sam Chapman, with the bases loaded, sent a high, tall foul down the 3rd baseline. Flip Rosen went way over toward the stand, and then the wind caught the ball and blew it out toward the baseline. But he caught the ball about 4 feet in foul territory, and there are 2 men out. So that leaves it squarely up here to Ferris Fain, the left-handed batting first baseman of the Philadelphia Athletics. And Fain, in 3 times up, he's walked twice, and once he bounced out to Luke Easter at first base. So he is 0 for 1. Chokes up on the bat, rocks back and forth, standing squarely in the center of the batter's box. Dillinger on third, Moses on second, Fainer on first. And Fain takes the first ball pitched to him. It's outside, ball 1. 1 run in, 3 men on, and 2 men out. A very important part here, right in the ball game. A very important time as Ferris Fain comes up with the bases loaded. The windup by Bob Lemon. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and fouled off. And that ball fouled right up against the upper deck and bounced back onto the playing field. The count now on Fain is 1 ball, 1 strike. Although Fain is a left-handed batter, Larry Doby plays him in left center, shaded just slightly over toward left field. In right field, Bob Kennedy is deep. The infield in their normal fielding position. The infield play Fain straight away. So Lemon with a new ball, rubs it up a bit. Dillinger moves off third. Moses off second. Now Paul Lehner gets off first. Bases still. Lemon can take his windup. Takes off the first sign. Takes the next one. Winds for the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung on. It's a ground ball down the first baseline. Easter's up with the ball. Runs over. And he makes the play unassisted. So Fain bounces out to big Luke Easter at first base unassisted. And that's all for the Philadelphia Athletics in the last half of the 7th inning. There was 1 run on 2 hits. And 3 men left on base for Philadelphia. And the score at the end of 7 innings, the Cleveland Indians 3, the Philadelphia Athletics 3. And now for the business of the top half of the 8th inning. Well, that's twice the Philadelphia Athletics have left 3 men stranded on the bases. They left 3 men on in the first inning and 3 men on in the last half of the 7th inning. But I'm not going to leave you folks stranded out there for the top of the 8th because I'm going to call in my old sidekick, Brother Al, to come in and take over.
All right, Art. Hey, you've really had some action here. No shutout innings for you today, buddy. First man up there in the top of the 8th inning, Larry Doby. He has 1 hit and 2 official tries. Shantz pitches him. A fastball, and the left-hander goes after it. Misses it for a strike. 3-3, and at the end of 7 innings, here are your totals. For the Cleveland Indians, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The A's, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. There's quite a ball game cooking here at Shibe Park under the sun today. Shantz delivers, Doby takes. Fast one through there for a strike. 3-3, and at the end of 7 innings, here are your totals. For the Cleveland Indians, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The A's, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. There's quite a ball game cooking here at Shibe Park under the sun today. Shantz delivers, Doby takes. Fast one through there for a strike. Doby with that right foot forward at the plate. Wide, spread eagle stance, feet very wide apart. Shantz delivers a sidearmer. It's a nice little hook that misses just outside. Count is 1-2 on Doby. He'll be pitching Doby very carefully because Doby is right up there in the American League select circle of the leading 5 batsmen. Started off hitting a .364 today. Shantz delivers. A little fun has a fast one in there, fouled back onto the screen by Doby. Count stays right along at 1-2. 3-3 between Cleveland and Philadelphia. This is one of those ball games where you can jump either way. Shantz throws. A curveball swung on a miss by Doby for strike 3. And that was one of those slow, tantalizing curves. Joe Astroth was so happy about that one, he grabbed that ball and threw it all the way over Dillinger's head at third base out into left field. So Doby's out of there on a strikeout. 1 out at the top of the 8th inning. And the 3rd strikeout hung up in the book by Shantz this afternoon. Here is Skip Rosen, who has had 1 hit and 2 official tries. He was walked his first time up. That was in the 2nd. He got a hit to center field in 3rd, and in the 5th inning, he was thrown out by 3rd baseman Bob Dillinger. Rosen bats right-handed and stands deep at the plate. Sort of a normal stance, feet just slightly spread apart. First pitch to him is a curve. It's inside at the waist for ball 1. Outfield shifted around the left and playing him very deep because Rosen has hit 14 home runs this year. Shantz curves him low inside. Count is 2-0. There goes Bobby back to the rosin bag. Joe Astroth has been playing a pretty good game there behind that plate for Philadelphia today. Shantz working to him now. Rosen swings. There's a high fly ball hit into left center field. Sam Chapman gallops over under it, waiting for it to come down now. He's got it. There's out number 2. 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning. That brings up Lou Boudreau. And the MGR hasn't been able to hit one out of the infield today, with the exception of in the 3rd inning, when he laced one out into right field to Wally Moses, and Wally made a very nice play out of it as he turned it into a DP. And the twin killing got Larry Doby, who was on at first base at that time. It's a very quick throw back. Boudreau up there, batting right-handed from a very severe crouch. He bends way over at the waist, looks as though he's about ready to sit down in the chair. Takes a curve in at the shins for ball 1. Shantz with that left foot forward up at the plate. Up the rubber, ready to fire this one to the plate. He does. It's a curveball, swung on a miss, and Boudreau spun all the way around when he didn't connect with it solidly. Almost fell down. He wound up on that one. Well, the count on Boudreau is 1-1. Must be pretty tough, Art, to carry all the managerial duties and to assume the duties of a player, too.
That's a job in itself. Either one.
Either one's a job. That's right, Art. True. Shantz ready, throws 1-1. Boudreau looks at the curve. It sails off outside for ball 2. 2-1. Bobby Shantz has that curve of his working good in there today. Shantz taking his time. Boudreau bending over even more severely. Pitch to the plate is a slow curve. It is outside. Down to 3-1 on Boudreau with 2 outs, top of the 8th inning, and nobody on. The score all tied up between Cleveland and Philadelphia at 3-3. It's been quite a ball game here this afternoon. Chapman wrapped in 2 runs for Philadelphia. Moses 1. Shantz rears back, kicks this one loose. It's a curveball in there for a strike. Boudreau tried to throw his stick away and go off to first base when he was suddenly held up by the right arm of Art Passarella. He said something to Art, and Art just looks at him disdainfully as if to say, "Why, Mr. Boudreau, I'm calling him here today, I am." 3-2 delivery. Shantz kicks, throws. A fastball. Looks low for ball 4. So Boudreau gets his walk anyway. 4th base on balls issued by Bob Shantz. Batter coming up to the plate following his manager is Bob Avila. Bob got a single in the 4th inning, hit it to left field. There's 1-3. Shantz gets a new ball from Passarella. Art looks this one over and tosses it out to him. And puts that ball that Bobby Shantz didn't want to work with right back in that same pocket. You get a kick out of listening to the umpires talk about the pitchers. They say, the pitcher will look at the ball and say, "I don't want to throw this one." They'll say, "All right." They'll take the ball and hide it behind their backs a moment, then put it in the same pocket, and then when the pitcher asks for a new ball, he gets out of the one right back. Well, what's the thing about psychology? Bob Avila, right-handed batsman. Shantz curves him. It hangs high above the letters for a ball. Count is 1-0. 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 8th inning, so the potential tie-breaking run is on at first base in Boudreau, with Shantz pitching to second baseman Bob Avila of Cleveland. There's a throw to first base. Boudreau hustles in ahead of it. Everything will be right down to the wire on this one. They'll be playing from the spikes up from now on because it's all tied up 3-3 and we're in the late inning. Shantz throws. Fastball. Avila hits it down to third base. Jones up with it, plays it back to Billy Hitchcock at second. For a force out on Boudreau coming down. So Rackerville up as a force out of his manager at second base. Dillinger to Hitchcock. And the score locked up at 3-3. The totals going into the last half of the 8th inning. The Indians 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And the A's have 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. So it's all depending upon which way Cat decides to jump here this afternoon. And whether Dame Fortune is going to smile on Bob Lemon or whether she's going to turn right around and grin at Bobby Shantz. Up at the plate, first man is Juice. Pitch to him, down it comes. It's a fast one under his knees for ball 1. Lemon throws again. Juice takes. Right across there for a strike. Lemon throws again. There's a curveball that misses inside. Ball 2. 2-1. Just ignores the next pitch. That's a flipper that just misses outside. Count is 3-1 now on Eddie Juice. Lemon takes his sign. Throws. Curveball in for a strike. The count is 3-2. Now Lemon with his 3-2 delivery. Rolls back, throws it. It's swung on. There's a slow bounding ball foul down the third baseline. Now for the next 3-2 delivery on Eddie Juice. He grinds his spikes in good and gets ready. He's the first batter up here in the last half of the 8th inning. 3-2 delivery. Fastball. High for ball 4. So Lemon passes his 8th man. And there's the potential tie-breaking run for the Athletics down at first base in Eddie Juice. 2 strolls. Billy Hitchcock standing in. 1 on, nobody out. Last of the 8th inning. Score tied at 3-3. Infield comes charging in, and Hitchcock squares away and pushes the bunt. Down to third base to Rosen. He throws over to second base to get Juice to throw on the first in time to get 2. So an attempted sacrifice is turned into a double play. On the very alert fielding of a young fellow named Al Flip Rosen, who came charging in to take that bounding ball. So Cleveland comes up with their second double play this afternoon, the 51st of the year. Rosen to Avila, and over to first to big Luke Easter. Juice was cut in the middle of that one. So the bases are clean now, and Astroth is up there. And Lemon, feeling a lot better about the entire situation, rears back and throws the first one at Astroth, and it's a low fast one, chins for ball 1. Well, that's sure getting out of it. Lady Luck didn't only smile that time, she just laughed out loud for Bob Lemon. So to the plate is a bounding ball down to third base. Rosen handles that one. Gets it over to Easter, and Astroth is out. So the A's got the tough break here in the last half of the 8th inning. Nothing across for them. And at the end of 8 full innings of play, the score still stands. Cleveland 3 and Philadelphia 3. Well, now we're about to open the doors on the 9th inning here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia and start to do business at the same old stand. Jim Hegan will be followed by Lemon, and then will come Kennedy. Jim Hegan has 1 hit in 2 official times up, make it 3 official times up. He attempted the sacrifice in the 4th and forced Avila at second base. So that was lowest time at bat. And in the 6th inning, he was thrown out by the shortstop, Eddie Juice. So Bobby Shantz out on the mound for Philadelphia now, trying to pick up his 6th victory of the year. He's going to have to pitch to the last third, or the last portion of the Cleveland batting order in Hegan and Lemon, and then the leadoffer, Bob Kennedy. There are no other scores to be given here this afternoon, as baseball has a day off. So now Shantz is getting ready to go. Standing up there wearing a big number 10 on his back, Jim Hegan. Lynn, Massachusetts boy, waggles that wood back and forth. Shantz pitches, and the Pottstown Dandy has one in there for a fast strike. That's fact. That's where Bobby Shantz hangs out. Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Goes again. There's a ball hit out into center field. Sam Chapman way over to his left, going fast. He's got it. Sam really had to go after that one. He almost fell down as he leaped to make the catch. So Hegan is out on the line drive to center field. That's one away in the top of the 9th inning. That brings up Bob Lemon in this 3-3 ball game. Yes, sir. You don't want to laugh about that town in Pennsylvania called Pottstown. I've got some other funny ones there, too. A place called Lickskillet. I can think of 5 or 6 other ones, but I'm not going to plague you with them. Shantz is ready now. Delivers to Bob Lemon. There's a 4th cut at that one. He fires it right back on the screen. Bob Lemon has 1 hit and 3 tries this afternoon. Started off hitting at 263. And Bob Lemon this year has gone for that long one. Got 1 home run. He hit it in April. Change up cold. It's swung on a miss for a strike. Lemon took a hitch in his swing and went back after it the second time, and the second helping didn't do him any good either. 0-2. The count on Lemon. Shantz ready. Goes 0-2. Lemon swings And there's a line drive into right field for base hit for Bob Lemon. He's on at first. Moses picks up, throws in to Eddie Juice, the shortstop, covering the second. So with one away, Lemon picks up his second hit on the day. And took a hitch in his swing and went back after it the second time, and the second helping didn't do him any good either. Helping in two. The count on Lemon. Shantz ready. Throws 0-2. Lemon swings. And there's a line drive into right field for base hit for Bob Lemon. He's on at first. Moses picks up, throws in to Eddie Juice, the shortstop, covering the second. So with one away, Lemon picks up his second hit on the day. Well, Shantz at number 9. 3 runs, 9 hits now for the Indians. They have 3 more than the homestanding Philadelphia Athletics. Ball game. Coming up there now is Kennedy. And after Kennedy will be Dale Mitchell for his first at-bat in case he's needed. Philadelphia infield playing their normal double-play depth. Leading off at first base is Lemon. He won't be wandering away too far. There's Staines holding the inside corner. Pitch to play to swung on. There's a line drive. Takes it out in left field for base hit. There goes Lemon down to second. He holds on as Paul Lehner plays that ball in to Eddie Juice, the shortstop, down in the third base sector. Rudolph Kennedy moves the potential tie-breaking run down to second with a line drive takes it to left for hit number 10 off Shantz. Now we'll see what's going to happen. Al Shibe gets up and starts to throw in the Philadelphia bullpen. Dale Mitchell coming up for his first at-bat of the afternoon. Let's see what Mitchell's hitting at. 322 is his batting percentage. He has 21 RBIs. First pitch to him. High fashion. That's ball 1. Mitchell has a chance of batting in another run for his club here. Mitchell carries a heavy war club up to that plate. Hits him left-handed, stands deep. Next pitch is made to him. He swings on it. There is a fly ball going into center field. Sam Chapman gallops up to it, races under it, takes it, and the runner's left back in. There's out number 2. Dale Mitchell failed to connect solidly. Right now is big Luke Easter. Well, I got a notion to do that. I've got a notion to duck my head under the desk, and you tell me what happens to Luke. Oh, this is a situation right now that Bobby Shantz would probably rather not have to face. As this Easter can follow that apple, he's hit a double in 3 official times up. And every time he steps up there, you can just see power written all over his back. You've got a broad back to look at. Look at the size of the shoulders on that duck, would you? Shantz delivers. The little fellow has a curve in there for strike. The little fellow has a curve in there for strike. The little fellow has a curve in there for strike. The little man for strike. Easter looked at it. That's the first time I've seen them pitch Easter on the outside. Shantz picked up the outside corner with an ease on Luke. One is at first and second, Lemon at second, and Kennedy at first. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning, and the score stands 3-3. Shantz, bearing down, throws. Easter takes outside. That's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So there's a lot of pressure on young Shantz's shoulders down there. His shoulders are rather narrow. He's a little fella. He looks like he'd have to stand up twice to cast a shadow. Now he's set. Checks his runner, throws the plate. Easter pounds one back to second base. Hitchcock has it, throws it over to Ferris Fang. The inning's over. Indians in the top half of the 9th inning. No runs. They had 2 hits. 2 no errors. 2 men were left stranded on. At the end of 8.5 innings of play, the score stands 3-3. Cleveland 3 and the Philadelphia Athletics 3. Now for the last half of inning number 9. If this game is to be won in the regulation 9 innings, it's the last call for Philadelphia. Out on the mound, and he knows he's in a pitcher's duel. And a rough ball game. Bob Lemon. You know, this Bob Lemon pitched himself a no-hitter in 48. Pitched against Detroit. quite a guy. Father started out as a third baseman just as old Bucky Walters did. Winds up as a pretty smart pitcher. Yes, sir. Bob Lemon pitched against the Detroit Tigers, won 2-0 on June the 30th, 1948. He led the American League in most innings pitched, most complete games, 20, and shutouts, 10 in 1948. So he was really a sizzler that year. Here he is 2 years later, tied up in a softball game with Philadelphia, and he pitches now to Bobby Shantz. And it's high for ball one. Shantz leading off in the last half of the ninth inning. Lemon throws again. Shantz hits one down to third base. Flip Rosen's up with it on a big hop. Throws it across to Luke Easter. That's all for Bobby Shantz. One out. Very nicely handled. Flip Rosen digging in there at third base. Checking at them. Here is Bob Dillinger. Bob's had no runs batted in today. As a matter of fact, he hasn't ever got a base hit for three official times up. The last time was in the seventh. He walked and was moved around to third, but there he died. Now Lemon is ready to work through Dillinger. He throws. Dillinger takes. Passing through for a strike. We were talking about Bob Shantz. Bob hasn't been around too long. He was born in 1925 at Pottstown, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia here. There's Dillinger swinging on the next pitch and a fly ball foul up back to first base up into the second tier. This count is 0-2. Bobby Shantz started pitching for Lincoln in the Western League in 1948. He was with Philadelphia last year. He won 6 and lost 8. That's Bobby Shantz. He's a Pennsylvania Dutchman. He led the Western League in strikeouts in 48. Now Dillinger waiting. Swings on this next pitch and beats it into the ground foul. Lemon had a quick one down there. The count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Last half of the ninth inning. One out, nobody on. Philadelphia at bat, and the score is Cleveland 3 and Philadelphia 3, so it's all tied up just as tight as can be. The Indians have 3 runs and 10 hits in going 9 innings, and the A's have 3 and 6. A third ball thrown in there to a right-handed batsman. Dillinger takes it low for ball one. Lemon stuffing up a new ball as much as he's allowed to stuff it up. Can't use any foreign substance anymore. Discolor that ball at all. Just take the sheen off it. Lemon tries a sidearm delivery. It misses outside. Ball 2. Dillinger's got the count of 2-2 now. Wally Moses hanging around to do the hitting next. Lemon takes his sign from Hegan. There's Passarella looking down over Hegan's shoulder. The pitch is low and outside. The ball got away from Hegan. That's a 3-2 count now on Dillinger. After Bob had gotten up there and gotten 2 quick counts against him, he is outlasted Bob Lemon and has a count of 3-2. So Bob goes back to the rosin bag. Fidgets around with the peak of his cap. Trips that ball in his right hand and steps up there, starts his pumping motion. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Outside for ball 4, and the potential winning run has been walked to first base. That's base on balls number 9. Given up by Lemon. That's a lot of bases on balls. A lot of work out here this afternoon, Al. 9 walks, 6 strikeouts. Yes, sir. That's right. Wally Moses is up at the plate now. He doubled his last time up. Has 2 hits in 2 official times up. 2 hits and 2 walks. So the 4 trips he's come up there. Looks at him, delivers an easy curveball. It's outside for ball 1. Chapman wasn't giving him anything too good to hit at. As Wally has knocked in one of the Philadelphia runs here this afternoon. Chapman with a home run, belted in 2. While Cleveland's pretty much split up on that three. Each run has been driven in by an individual. There's a double fastball thrown in there. It's outside again for ball 2. Down on Moses is 2 and nothing. Hegan batted in a Cleveland run. Rosen batted in 1, and so did Luke Easter. That's more activity. Zoldak and Bunt up throwing in the Cleveland bullpen again. Leading off the first base, Dillinger. 1 out. Down comes the pitch. A fastball hit down to Bobby Willie. He plays it to Boudreau. The 1 out, the throw on. He's not in time. Wally Moses is out at first base, forcing out Dillinger at second. So the winning run is still on the tracks for Philadelphia. Dillinger's forced from Avila to Boudreau covering the second. Here is the guy we call Little Cyanide. Ball Lehner. He hasn't gotten a base hit today. As a matter of fact, he hasn't got one out of the infield. He struck out, popped up, grounded out, and walked. He started off today hitting at .331. But he could be a hero here at Shibe Park right now. And he's hit that long ball. He can do it. He's hit 4 of them. 4 home runs. He hasn't hit one here in the month of June. He swings on the first pitch, and there's a bounding ball to Villa at second. The throw over to first base to Easter. It's going to be extra innings. Later grounds out. 4-3, second to first. No runs. No hits. 1 man left on for Philadelphia in the last half of the 9th inning. Well, it's all tied up at 3-3. I'll be back in just 60 seconds with the top of the 10th. Well, it's the top of the 10th inning here at Shibe Park, and of the 6 runs that have been scored in this ball game, Art Gleason has told you about 5 of them. I've got a feeling he's going to tell us about more in the 10th. Come on, Art, how about you?
All right, Al, it's the top of the 10th inning, and Larry Doby up for the first man for the Cleveland Indians. Bobby Shantz into his lineup pitches. It's a call strike one as Doby takes a fastball over the inside corner. Little Bobby now, ready for the next pitch. Winds, throws. And Doby tries to bunt the ball, but he fouls it down the third base line, and the count is strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Coaching at first base for the Cleveland Indians is Oscar Malillo. He was a great second baseman in the American League for years. Down at third base, but you remember the old Philadelphia outfielder, Al Simmons. And now he's an Indian. So Doby's back in. He tried to bunt that ball and broke for first base. Now he's back at the plate waiting for the next pitch. The wind-up, here it is. And it's strike 3. Call. So Shantz walks up strikeout number 4 as Doby took a fastball right over the plate. And the next batter up will be Rosen. He bats him right-handed. So far, Al, 1 hit in 3 official trips. Got a single to center field in the 3rd inning. He walked his first time up and scored the first Cleveland run. Here's the first pitch to Rosen, and he holds back on a curved ball that breaks low for ball 1. He had a notion. And he started to swing, and then he almost fell down as he held the end of his bat. Bobby Shantz, very small, very cool, winds, throws, and Rosen drives one deep out toward left field. It's a long one. It's a long one, and the ball is up in the air. That's for a home run. It's long gone. Well, what do you know? Al Rosen just stepped up to the plate and got a hold of a fastball and drove it deep into the upper deck in left field for his 15th home run of the season. And that breaks the tie. The Cleveland Indians go out ahead 4-3. And now it's manager Lou Boudreau standing in, bats him right-handed. Here's the first pitch to Lou. He takes outside at the ball. Boudreau has failed to hit. He bounced out to the pitcher, bounced into a double play, bounced out to first base unassisted, and then he walked. So he has 0 for 3. Well, what do you know? Al Rosen just stepped up to the 0 for 3. Shantz now has his sign, winds for the next pitch, and Boudreau fouls one off. It's strike 1, 1-1. A new ball put into play, and while Shantz rubs it up a bit, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Now back at the Shibe Park, and Boudreau hits the next ball pitch to him. It's a line drive going out toward left field. Paul Lehner comes in. He can't make the play. The ball gets away from him, and it will be scored, I believe, as a double. Paul Lehner ran in, tried to tap a line drive by Lou Boudreau into left field. Couldn't get his glove on it, and the ball rolled about 10 feet away from him where Chapman came over, fielded the ball, and threw into second base. It's a double for manager Lou Boudreau, and he's on at second base. So the Indians now have 1 run in, Boudreau on second base, 1 man out, and the batter is Bobby Avila. Well, let's see. Bobby Avila has 1 hit and 4 times up, and he takes the first pitch to it. It's outside for ball 1. The Indians out in front, 4-3. Boudreau moves off second base. Bobby Shantz picks up his sign now from Joe Astroth. Doesn't like the first one. Takes the next one. Looks toward second. Throws. And it's high outside to Avila. Ball 2. This Bobby Avila is a Mexican boy, and he's not too tall. He's not too big. He's 5'10", rather stalkily built. He weighs 165 pounds. Bats him right-handed. Here's your 2-0 pitch, and it's outside again for ball 3. And here in the top half of the 10th inning, Bobby Shantz, the left-hander for the Philadelphia Athletics, has run into a snag. Al Rosen got his 15th home run to put the Cleveland Indians out in front. Manager Lou Boudreau touched him for a double to left field, and he's on at second base. Shantz now sets himself for the next pitch, takes his stretch, delivers, and it's in there for a call, strike 1. Shantz just reared back, and then fired that fastball right across to Bobby Avila. Count on him. Even second baseman is 3 balls, 1 strike. Now we're ready. Boudreau moves off. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, and there's a line smash going out toward right field. Back goes Wally Moses. He's up against the fence. He makes the catch. And Boudreau tags up at second base, coming over to third, and he's in at third base. Well, little Bobby Avila showed us that he has quite a bit of power hitting that ball out toward right field. He hit a line drive, and Wally Moses had to go clear back, almost to the light tower, right up against the fence, but he pulled it in. And after the catch, Boudreau tagged up, and moved over to third base. So with 1 run in, Boudreau on third, 2 men out. The batter is Jim Hegan, and Hegan has 1 hit in 4 trips. Takes the first pitch, outside, ball 1. Hegan's a big, tall, rangy guy. One of the better catchers in the American League. Stands well back in the batter's box, feet spread apart. And he hits the next ball pitch to him. It's a drive going out toward left field. Back goes Paul Lehner, back goes Lehner, and he can't get it. It's in there for a home run. It's long gone. Well, what do you know? Jim Hegan just merely reached out his bat and looked as though he slapped at that ball, but he has tremendous size and a lot of power. And he pulled that ball deep over Paul Lehner's head in left field into the stands at about the 360-foot mark. And it scored manager Lou Boudreau ahead of him, so the Indians take a 3-run lead. The score is 6-3. Here's Bob Lemon. Lemon bats left, takes the first pitch, and it's wide at the plate to a left-handed batter. Ball 1. Well, Lemon has 2 hits and 4 times up. There's the next pitch to him, and he backs away from a fastball inside, and Bob had to hit the dirt. He didn't hit the dirt intentionally, but he lost his balance as he started to back up, and he fell down. So the count on Bob is 2 balls, no strikes. 2 home runs here in the top half of the 10th inning, one by Flip Rosen, one by Jim Hegan, and the Indians are out in front, 3 runs. Lemon hits the next ball pitch to him and sends a high foul ball down the first baseline. Spain moves over close to the stand. He can't get it because the ball bounces on top of the stand and then drops down into the lower deck. So a souvenir goes to some of the fans, and, well, we have a hurdler down there. One fella jumped right over the railing. He got it all right, too. Looked like a gazelle. You'll enter him in that 1952 Olympics, huh? Well, there's Lemon now with a count 2 balls, 1 strike as a new ball is put into play. And he takes the next pitch by Shantz. It's high for ball 3. And Bobby Shantz has run into that Cleveland power here in the top of the 10th. 2 home runs. Here's the next pitch. And it hits Lemon right on the back of the neck, I think. It looked like he hit him just at the base of the neck. No, it hit him on the right shoulder. I can see him move his arm a little bit now. As he was falling away from that pitch, it was a fastball on the inside, and as Lemon was falling away, it was rather difficult from our position here, high up above the playing field, to distinguish whether that ball hit him on the back of the neck or on the right shoulder. But as Bob got up off the ground, he's all right. The ball hit him on the right shoulder. The trainer ran out, and Bob says, "Okay, I'm all right." Just went down to first base, rubbed his shoulder a bit. So Lemon is on, hit with a pitched ball. Well, Bob's got a lot of moxie. I knew it didn't hit him in the head because it would have tipped his hat.
Oh, now look out.
I thought I might have hit him right at the base of the neck. The next pitch, batter up, is Bob Kennedy. And the first pitch to him, he takes a slow curve that drops low and inside to a right-handed batter. So Kennedy has the count, ball one. Lemon on first, 3 runs in, 2 men out. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, it's a fly ball. Out toward right center field, Moses is after it. Chapman comes over, Moses makes the catch. And that's all. Bob Kennedy flying out to right center field to Wally Moses. And the Cleveland Indians in the top half of the 10th inning pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, and there was 1 man left on base. And so the score at the end of 9 1/2 innings, the Cleveland Indians 6 and the Philadelphia Athletics 3. And now back at Shibe Park in Philadelphia, the last half of the 10th inning, the last call for the Philadelphia Athletics to get 3 runs and tie up this ball game. Will they do it? Well, we don't know. Time will only tell. But the way these boys have been dumping that ball around the American League, anything can happen in the ball game, you know. So to start things off for the Philadelphia Athletics here in the last of the 10th inning, will be the guy that holds down that center field position. The guy that already has 3 hits in this ball game, one which was a home run, is Sam Chapman. Chapman got a single to left in the first inning, a home run. When Moses on base in the second, or in the third inning, and then he got a single to left field in the 6th inning. His last time at bat, well, he popped up to Flip Rosen. And Rosen has been a busy guy this afternoon. He's handled 8 chances down there at third base, and he has 6 assists and 2 put-ups. No errors. He's had quite a day for himself. He got a home run to unlock this 3-3 tie and put the Indians out in front. Here's Chapman now to face the offerings of Bob Lemon as we move into the last half of the 10th inning with the Athletics in dire need of 3 big runs. The windup by Lemon, the first pitch to Chapman. He takes it in there for a call, strike 1. Lemon sidearmed him with a fastball, and the ball was right through there. Lemon has his sign now from Jim Hegan. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, it's a ground ball on the third base line. Up with the ball is Rosen, the throw to first. It's in time as Easter stretches way out to his right. Well, we saw a couple of great plays there. Rosen moved to his left, scooped that ball up, and then threw to first base. And big Luke Easter stretched his 6'4" height way out to the right and scooped that ball out of the dirt. So Chapman is out. That was a hard hit ball. Here's Ferris Fain. That's a left-handed, hits the first ball pitch to him and punches the ground ball. Right between Boudreau and Rosen in the left field. It's a single as Fain holds on at first base. Dale Mitchell, Fain in left field for the Indians, fielded that ball and threw it into Bobby Avila. So off Bob Lemon, that is hit number 7. With Fain on first, 1 out, the batter is Eddie Juice, the shortstop. Juice is struck out twice. Safe on first as he forced the man and then walked. So he is 0 for 3, and he fouls off the first ball pitch to him. It's strike 1. Bob Lemon now with a new ball. And he'll have to pitch very carefully here to Yost because he can put that ball up in those left field seats. He's strong. Now Lemon glances over his left shoulder. The next pitch is outside to Noah. Curveball catches the outside for call, strike 2. And Juice is turning around and giving umpire Casarella a very disgusted look. There is Fain down on first base, 1 out. And Casarella merely told Juice that he'd do the umpiring and get up there and do the hitting. So the right-handed batsman back in again. Count on him, no balls, 2 strikes. Lemon ready, takes his stretch, delivers, and a curve breaks low outside. Ball 1. 2 pitchers working very rapidly in the Cleveland bullpen. Big Al Benton, number 22, he's a right-hander. And little Sam Zoldak, a left-hander. Now Lemon is ready, pumps, throws, and Juice takes a sidearm curve outside for ball 2. And Lemon sidearms these hitters once in a while. He'll stride way over towards third base and then come around with that sidearm pitch. Very difficult pitch to hit. The count on juice now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're playing juice to pull that ball. Doby playing in left center. Here's the next pitch. High and outside, ball 3. So, it's a 3-2 count on the Philadelphia shortstop. Last half of the 10th inning, and the A's trailing by a 6-3 score. So we'll watch Bain very closely over on first base to see whether or not he might be moving. Lemon is ready. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and foul back. Bain was not going. Bain does not represent the tying run, and he was playing it safe at first. Eddie Juice fouled off a fastball, and the count is 3-2. And here in the last half of the 10th inning, it will be up to Eddie Juice to either hit his way on or walk his way on. He's got to get on that bag because the Athletics need 3 runs. Bain now takes just a short lead off first. Here's your 3-2 pitch. Swung on, and the drive is up to left field, back towards Bill Mitchell. He can't get it. The ball is up against the fence, and it is a single as Bain pulls up at second base. Eddie Juice reached out there and slapped a line drive that sailed right over Mitchell's head up against the fence. Bain could not tell whether or not the ball was going to be caught. He had to hold up. And Mitchell played that ball nicely off the fence and whipped it in to flip Rosen. And so the Athletics here fighting back in the last half of the 10th inning have 2 men on. Bain on second, Juice on first. The batter coming up here. I think we're going to have a pinch hitter. Billy Hitchcock is due to hit, and I think we're going to have a pinch hitter. Barney McCoskey. Barney McCoskey, a left-handed batter, is coming in to replace right-handed batting Billy Hitchcock. So Bob Lemon has given up 2 hits here in the last half of the 10th inning, his 7th and 8th hit in the game. And now he's got to set himself here and pitch to a pinch hitter. Barney McCoskey has come on to replace Hitchcock. And he's batting for an average of 269. He has 4 runs batted in, 5 doubles. Remember, Barney, he was out all of last year. Had a bad back. He takes the first pitch, a call strike, and Lemon fired a fastball right across. Lemon now pitching very carefully. Barney McCoskey batting left-handed. Lemon picks up his sign. The runners move off. Here's the next pitch. And it is ball 1 inside. And now it's the opposite side who is questioning the call of umpire Art Passarella. Bob Lemon looks down, and he doesn't agree. But the count stands 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men on, 1 out. Last half of the 10th. Here's the next pitch. McCoskey swings and bounces 1 foul off the plate for strike 2. And the minute that Barney McCoskey swung on that pitch, Bear Spain broke for third, and Eddie Juice had started for second. And now they have to go back. So a new ball into play. Bob Lemon rubs it up a bit. He's got a job cut out for him here. Coming on, the tying run at the plate.
The final score was the Cleveland Indians 6 and the Philadelphia Athletics 3 in 10 innings.